Alright, there we go. We should be back up live. Alright, sorry about that. I missed the queue because I was fiddling around with things, but queuing up again.
It's okay. So you're the one that missed the queue? God damn it.
Fucking hell. The US Super Galaxy is fucking massive.
The what?
Which one?
The US Super Galaxy. That's your biggest transport aircraft you've got in the in service. That's fucking massive. I'm looking at a picture of the C-17 Globemasters, the C-5N Super Galaxy, the Lockheed Martin C-13, C-130, and the C-5, and they're all lined up, and can you see the size difference between the aircraft? I've been on a C-130, and they're fucking huge, and the Globemasters are fucking bigger, almost twice the size of a C-130. And then you've got the Super Galaxy, which is twice the size again.
Look, Scrum, we know how to spend money.
Yeah, dude.
Were you on board, by the way? No, you were on tank when we queued up. Never mind.
So it's an aircraft that can carry other aircraft.
Yeah, I think they shove what do they call them? Chinooks and shit in, transport Chinooks and shit around.
What's this about the aircrafts?
Nothing important, just dumb ways the US decides to spend their ridiculous amount of money in the military.
Wow. I mean, I think the most stupid thing is the amount of money they spend on military overall.
I know, that's what I mean. No one here is asking for it.
Well, that is what it is. I don't even live in the US, so I don't really have any opinion upon it.
Lork, are you on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
What's your channel called?
I linked it yesterday.
Where at in the FF14?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, but for now it's just a bunch of random letters to channel name until I get enough subscribers to get like a custom URL. We'll get there one day. What's with this queue, Ben? You promised us insta queues.
I did no such thing.
Why? Should probably invite you guys to this crossworld link shell, by the way.
Wow, you don't have your own link show?
Let's see, where the fuck is Ben? Can I do it through the... Unable to invite to crossword link shell. What are you doing, Ben?
Not punching a thing. One.
Why?
Try again?
I mean, it's primarily used for communication for like music related stuff, but occasionally we just talk in there.
So you said like what 10 p.m. is when the thing comes out, the Endwalker?
Yeah, 5 minutes. The live stream, live later starts.
Okay.
I didn't even know I was in another one.
Where does it stream?
I'll send you the link.
Not on Twitch?
I think it.
Probably.
I think it's on both, but it's definitely on YouTube. I can show you the link
I just sent it to him.
for the live letter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, sir. Wait, they're streaming on YouTube?
I
Yeah.
assume they stream on both, but maybe it's just YouTube. I don't know.
Is YouTube just taking over Twitch?
In some
It's
aspects.
gonna happen eventually.
Well, it's got bigger. I mean, you got to think about it as far as not gaming goes.
Yeah, I mean, like on other things, it's like just on general videos and everything, it has much bigger audience. It's just a matter of time before
But you do
people
have to
will go
remember,
there.
it's not even the biggest thing on Twitch anymore.
I know, but it's
Just literally everything else. It just depends on what Twitch does. Twitch has the audience right now. It's theirs to lose.
That's right. And they will lose it because Amazon won't put any money into Twitch.
I mean, it's very likely.
No, they'll lose it. Fucking probably end up selling it to YouTube eventually when YouTube takes off.
I doubt YouTube would bother to buy it. They already have their own infrastructure. There'd be no point.
yeah, there'd be no reason to buy them.
Of course, there's a reason to buy them. You buy it, shut it down.
Yeah, but there's anti-monopoly laws and stuff like that.
That's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Not
If
really. Not really. If you think about it, somebody else buys Twitch outright, and they do what Amazon doesn't want to do to get that up and running. YouTube's still got competition, but if you buy it, take all their resources and then squash it, and you become the sole streaming company, that's just smart fucking business right there.
That's monopoly.
Also a waste of money.
So you can't do that in the US.
Right.
I mean, you've already won the worldwide buyout
Yeah.
after that.
It's actually probably making it worse on YouTube if you do that, because like if they're staying around, then they won't be like taxed in weird ways or done
Plus
any
you
weird
buy
shit from the government.
those, and you're also buying all the employees and shit. You're buying a fuck ton of money and upkeep and overhead.
How do I get to this guy? This guy here. been
Grim,
upstairs or something?
check my stream real quick and say what you think about that solution for streaming live letter. I'm not cool enough to have a face cam yet. I'm just gonna have the game going in the background while I'm doing other stuff.
I mean, do you have a PlayStation or anything? Why am I dying?
A
Oh
PlayStation?
god, I did. Yeah,
No, why?
I just wondering because they come with like a little camera.
Wow. I mean, as I said, I'm probably gonna have to set up my phone as a camera.
Wait, why did I die? I wasn't even paying attention, sorry.
This dude sucks. Can't
Wow.
dying. It was like the easiest pull in the dungeon.
Toxic behavior.
Are you streaming?
Yeah, I should be. Yeah, the privacy should be on public, so it should be visible.
Yeah, see it.
What's your name again, Lorik? In your YouTube?
It's just Lorik.
LORRIC.
Yep.
What's
Yeah,
the
it's like
picture?
lumber. I was always the thing that comes up.
Sorry, what was that? But
But there's some channel called Lorik Lumber is what came up when I tried to search it.
maybe I'm not big enough to get searched for yet.
Probably not.
Poor me, being only a single-digit subscribers. So please like and subscribe. What is this?
Oh,
Live
this
letter
is
should be
just
live.
Fucking stupid.
I mean, otherwise, I linked it yesterday in Discord and the Final Fantasy
Started.
channel.
Started.
We're getting the title screen, boys.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
It's the moon.
I mean, that music is probably gonna get... Actually, I'm gonna shut down my music.
Oh, hell yeah, buds.
Are you hyped? I'm hyped.
第66回ファイナルファンタジー14プロデューサーレターライブのお時間です。Thank you very much for tuning in and welcome to the Final Fantasy XIV letter from the producer live number 66. 皆さんにご挨拶お願いします。Thank you for watching. My name is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. 皆さんおはようございます。Final Fantasy XIV プロデューサー兼ディレクターの吉田です。よろしくお願いします。はい、そして今日はゲストにあゆみさんがいらっしゃいます。あゆみさんお願いします。
Hi. Hello, my name is Aimi. I'll be helping with translation support for today's broadcast. 今回の通訳サポートを務めさせていただきます。徳竹愛美です。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
And lastly, my name is Toshio Morochi, also known as a Fox Clone. You're a global community producer here. 信号を務めますコミュニティチームモルボルことモルウチです。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
はい、
はい。
よろしくお願いします。
ということで、まず最初に
いやまあちょっと押したのはさ、
はい、
まあ僕がギリギリまでタバコ行ってたっていうのも悪いんだけど、オープニング画面をね、いかにうまく入ってるかっていう。
Should probably learn Japanese.
ギリギリまで測ったんですいませんでした。はい。
So we started just a little bit late to this time. Of course, Yoshida had to step out to smoke a cigarette, but that's beside the point. We were trying to show off that opening sequence there on that screen, and we wanted to time it just right. And we were struggling until the very last minute there, so apologies.
I mean, they're definitely, with the starting screen and everything, going for the whole moon aspect, I guess.
よかった。いや、グッドでしょ。かっこよかったです。
ありがとうございます。
I mean, fair enough. Like,
結構調整実は大変で、まあ巨大なものをこう動かすんだけど、14って可変フレームレートなので、やっぱちょっとやっぱり微妙にその描画精度でちょっと落ちたりずれたりとかして、うまい速度に合わせるのが結構難航して、サウンドに渡すのもフィックス渡すのも遅くなったんで、ご迷惑をおかけしました。
We'll see what they say, I guess.
Thank you so much. It was quite a struggle, a big undertaking to make the different adjustments. When we're trying to move large objects on screen, of course, with the fluctuating frame rate, it is a very challenging element to kind of render. And depending on the quality of the rendering, it's quite difficult to get the timing just right. So we did struggle on that. I'm afraid it did delay us in handing over the animation over to the sound.
はい。で、今日はなんですけど、今日の PLL はちょっと特殊な回なので、まず最初に今日がなんでどういう段取りなのかをちょっと説明させていただきます。はい。So this letter live is kind of special one. So let me explain what is the setup for today. まず、今日は通訳、あゆみさんに通訳に入っていただいて、日本語と英語のバイリンガル放送で、行います。So first and foremost, this letter live is bilingual in both Japanese and English. So we have あゆみさん here, and she
the two icons, Reaper and Sage on our guys.
Letter live, how it works is
on what side?
Basically speaks.
If you look at the white guy's jersey, those are the two icons, Reaper and Sage.
まず吉田さんが原則日本語で説明していきます。で、それを
What the fuck am I doing again?
訳していってくれるというスタイルで進みます。
You look very alive to me.
私ですけれども、毎回これも言うんですけど、私は自分で訳していくんですが、今日南部化構成なんですけど、
What's your life above one?
最後のお知らせコーナーが来るまで、私からは大して重要なことは申しません。ので、あれ今モルボールなんか通訳し忘れてるじゃんとかあっても気にしないで特にあはって言ってるだけだなって思っておいていただければいいかなと思いますので、そういうご理解でよろしくお願いします。
Level up.
So and
Nice.
then I will translate by myself. But if you notice, if I mistranslating something, but just leave it because nothing important information is coming from my mouth anyway. So until very end at the announcement call section, I am just nodding and then saying, wow, is all my job is. So just leave it. And then today's Letter Lab has 3 major sections. The first part is all about the new jobs. Job changes, adjustments. And then the life has, and then we are gonna have some other updates. So there are 3 major sections for today. 今日は大きく3部構成になっておりまして、最初は皆さんお待ちかねジョブ関連の話をします。続いてバトル関連と主に PVE ですけれども、バトル関連の調整のお話。 そしてさらにその他のいくつかお知らせがありますので、そういう話をやっていって、まあ賞味4時間ぐらいですかね。
わかんないな、わかんないな。まあ今日私こちらにニコニコとTwitch と YouTube とコメントが全部あるんで、大概こっちに行ってる場合コメント見てると思ってください。
So just to let you know, Yoshida-san has the monitors for Nico Nico, Twitch, and YouTube broadcasts, and he's following along with some of the comments. So don't mind him if he kind of drifts off to the side of the screen. He's just checking the comments.
そうですね。で、私のはちなみにこっち側なので、私はこっち見てると思います。Yeah, my screens are placed here, so I will looking at here this direction to check your comments. はい、皆さんのコメント、私の方は画面こっちにありますので、私がこっちを見てるときは、なるほど、なんかコメント読んでるんだなと思っていただければと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
結構ね、見てるか吉田とかね、寝てるかとかね、書かれてるんですよね。あとね、
We were seeing comments like, "Oh, Yoshida's actually looking at our comments. Oh, he looks kind of sleepy, and is he asleep, etc., etc."
ね、寝てたらね、発売できないんだ。
There's no time for sleep. We won't be able to release the game if we
See how it is,
sleep.
だって14の
Yeah, a lot more powerful tool
皆さん
called
よく知
Rescue.
ってるじゃないですか。たくさん遊んでいただいてるんで、あれを全部見るんですよ。もう何から何まで。サブクエストの端からね。
Are y'all watching live later, by the way, aren't
言
you?
ってられないんですよ。
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you understand how
I'm watching,
large
Jesse
FF14
and
is. You all
JP's
play the
restream.
game, and
Wow.
you have to
You're not
check
watching
every
my
single
restream?
aspect of it,
Wow.
not just the
Your
main
restream's
quest,
up on the other
seeing
tab.
the nooks and crannies of the subquests as well. So there's no time for sleep.
Sorry, I don't want to watch the dungeon I'm
ま
doing.
あなので、今日は今
Fair enough, but there's a little window with the stream going.
まあ今日と次回の PLL で 6.0 と
But on their screen, it's the little window is
主に
them.
PVE、それからバトル関係の
Yeah,
周
content
りだったりとか、
I mean, I could swap it around, but, you know.
自分に関してはコンセプトをお伝えしていく回になってます。で、例えば PVP の新しいコンテンツとか、ギャザクラとかっていうのは次回の PLL で特集するので、そこは
Something about PvP?
Of course, as Foxconn just mentioned, we will be covering the different elements with this PLL, and we will have another follow-up immediately before the release of Endwalker, but we will be covering the different elements of the new expansion. So for this PLL, it's going to be primarily about the PvE items, the battle system updates, and the job changes. We won't delve too far into detail for each individual jobs, but we would like to go over the different concept that went into the different updates that we'll be making. Unfortunately, PvP and Disciples of the Land and Hand information will be next PLL, so I'm afraid we will not be covering it during today's broadcast, so apologies in advance.
で、あと特筆すべきなのは、まあやっぱりジョブ
Oh no, we won't get any fisherman updates.
例えばナイトがもう
That's all I was looking forward to.
こうなり、このアクションがこうで、これの強さはこうですねみたいなのは、まあ当然ちょっと言ってたら終わんないっていうのもあるし、明日からいよいよメディアツアーがスタートします。で、メディアの皆さんには一足早くですね、特定のエリアと全部ジョブレベル90でプレイをしていただいてですね。メディアの皆さんとかインフルエンサーの皆さんが、全世界一斉に情報解禁して、インプレッション上がると思うので、まあぜひそちらをですね、詳細はね見ていただければなと思っております。はい。はい。
And of course, we also wanted to make note that with the different job updates, I'm afraid we won't go into detail. So we won't be like, oh, Paladin's going to do this and the action's going to be like that and Potencies is this and this and that. Well, one thing, if we said everything, it would take forever for the broadcast, but we will be doing a media tour where we invite members of the media as well as influencers to get a glimpse of the new content, some of the new areas and all of the jobs available at the upcoming level cap of level 90. So they will be creating information and content to share with you, and they will go live after an embargo lifts. So I hope that people will tune into that information.
まあ結構ね、今回メディアツアーで楽しみなのは海外のインフルエンサーの方も結構お呼びしてるので、まあどっちかっていうとなんか久しぶりに MMO 談義ができそうでちょっと楽しみだなみたいなのもねいくつかあるんで、 まあ、その辺をね気力にしながら頑張っていこうかなと思います。
And the one thing that I'm really excited about is that we do have a lot of Western influencers joining us this time for this media tour. And so I am so excited to talk MMO shop with them in my interviews. So that's going to be kind of like what I'm going to be looking forward to throughout this media event.
はい、でこのメディアツアーの、記事とかレビューとかはですね、全世界一斉に10月中旬頃に公開される予定になっておりますので、そちらをぜひお待ちいただければと思います。So the review and the articles from this media tours will be available globally at the timing of the middle October. So please look forward to it.
じゃあ早速始めていこうとは思うんですけど、2点だけすいません。あと2つ確認させてください。まず1つ目、今日お伝えしていく情報はやっぱりエンドウォーカー行月のフィナーレまだ開発中です。最後の最後本当にギリギリまでバランス調整やってるので、今日お伝えした内容が変わる可能性があるというのは、まずご理解ください。
So before we jump into the main part of the show, we would like to bring up two additional points. First of which is, of course, we'll be talking about Endwalker today, but we are still making final adjustments. It is still in development, and so please understand that some of these elements are subject to change.
そしてですね、もう一つ大事なことなんですけど、確かに私疲れております。疲れているのは事実なんですが、怒ってるのとかそういうのはないです。顔がねそういう顔なんです。怒ってたりとかは決してしてないので、真面目に話すと なぜかね怒ってるって言われるので、そこはご理解をいただきたいのと、ちょっとやっぱ疲れは確かに疲れてるんで言い間違いとかちょっとどもったりとかする可能性があるんですけど、今日はちょっとすいません、ご容赦いただけると助かります。はい。
And one important thing, I am tired. That
Hell
is a
yeah.
fact. I'm sorry. And people have
Kill the
asked,
boss
"Rashida, are you
quickly."
angry?"
Or
And
decently.
I'm not. I'm just, this is the way I look. This is my face. So whenever I'm talking about something serious, I apparently give off the impression
I'm
that
gonna grab a drink real
I'm angry, but please understand that I'm not. I am tired, so I might, my speech might not catch up with me quite. I might stutter at times, but please understand.
いつもじゃんって書かれてる YouTube。
Yeah, that's good disclaimer.
YouTube comments saying, but you're always like
いつも疲れてる。いや、言いますよ。always tired.
さあじゃあ始めていきましょうか。一応後ろ制限はないんでね。ゆっくりやると。
That's a good disclaimer.
Okay, I think we are ready to jump.
Are you watching this or what?
Yeah.
I believe there isn't a strict sort of end time that we have to adhere to, so we're just gonna go into it, take our time, and explain as needed.
Hell yeah, Paladin. Let's go.
はい。まずもちろん大事なのはジョブ関連調整だと思いますので、ここから行こうと思いますが、まず各ジョブとかロールとか行く前にそう全ジョブに対する基本方針をざっと説明しちゃおうかなと思っております。
So of course, we are going to be discussing about the different job updates and adjustments. But before we jump into talking about jobs or even roles, actually, I do want to cover something that encompasses all of the different jobs in general.
まず最初、ベースの方針なんですけど、こちらはシャドウブリンガーズ 5.0 の、方針をそのまま引き継いでおります。
So just as a baseline, we are sort of building upon what we have adjusted in Shadowbringers 5.0.
もちろんその新たなアクションとかはあるんですけど、その新システムとかをね、各ジョブにつけたりして、もうそのさらにシステムを各ジョブ複雑化させるようなことはしてません。
And of course, with the new level cap, we do add some more actions, but we haven't incorporated any sort of brand new system tacked on there or made anything too complicated.
もちろんベーシックのコンセプトは5.0を引き継いでってるんですけど、新しいアクションっていうのは当然たくさんありますし、変わってるところっていうのも各ジョブね、それぞれ大小ではありますけど結構あるので、その辺の方針は今日お伝えしていこうかなと思ってます。
And of course, with the basic thought being building upon Shadowbringers 5.0, of course, there are new elements that are added leading up to Endwalker, and different elements that we have changed, may it be small or big. So we would like to go over some of the concepts or the directions that we've taken for these different updates.
でこう一部ねちょっと複雑にしてほしいな3点シリーズみたいなのっておっしゃる方もね最近ちらほら見るんですけど、いややらないですよ。以前やって大変なことになったんで。
That's what you do.
ジョ
When
ブ
you
ダ
don't
ウンスタイ
do
ル
anything
難し
else.
いコンテンツは難しいわになってしまってやっぱりちょっとやりづらいと思うんで、今が一番安定してるかなと思うので、この方針を継続していく予定です。
And of course, there are a small group of you that desire for that complexity of what we've done in the
Scrim, you doing all right?
series. But I'm
What?
afraid we won't go in that direction. It's
Scrim's still in the
quite a
golden
struggle
saucer.
because not only does the job actions become complicated, the content themselves make it kind of compoundedly worse. So I think we are at a good sort of stable place post Shadowbringers. So I think we would like to continue in that direction.
まあもちろんね個人個人ね3-0時代が良かった4-0時代
I mean, I guess the main question is like if they just don't want to change like the core concept of the classes, but still want to add new things. Doesn't that mean like if the classes don't evolve over the expansion, that's just gonna like people are just gonna get bored of them if they just get
And of
like
course, I'm sure different players
an
have
upgrade
different
of
tastes.
current
Some people
skills,
might
right?
say, "Oh, I love the 3.0 series, 4.0 series, or etc." But I think looking at it from a general sort of perspective, and from Yoshida's point of view, looking at 14 throughout these years, we do feel that 5.0 seems to fit as many people as possible. So apologies, but this is kind of the direction we're taking.
さあそしてもう一個全ジョブに共通して主
You
に
can
攻
buy a
撃
Cloud
に
Strife
関わ
card
る
for
と
a
ころなんです
million?
けど、主要な
what?
攻撃に関わるような
Cloud Strife
シナ
card.
ジーとかも含めたアビリティのリキャストっていうのをおおむね60秒120
You can get Raubin and Pippin in one card?
寄せてます。
hell yeah.
And
The father-son
another thing
duo.
that encompasses all of the jobs is regarding their attacks and some of the like primary abilities and their recast timing. I think we've kind of equalized it to kind of lean towards that 60 second or 120 seconds.
Interesting.
このあたりはですね、
So I wonder, because Warriors thingy currently is 90 seconds for the big ones. I wonder if that's going to get the 60 second or the 120 second in the future.
合いやすいように合わせやすいようにもちろんそれだったりしてるんですけど、まあ
I mean, for Paladin, I don't think it'll matter much because both are already on 60.
別の
So
ジョブをやった時にも、サイクルってテンポ感は揃ってくるかなと思うので、まあその辺を踏まえてこうしてあります。
Ooh, Manification's gonna get changed.
And this kind of takes into play
Oh?
when you go into the
It's either gonna
high
get
difficulty
a
dungeons
10-second
where,
nerf or
you have
a
that sort of
massive buff.
timing that you can
well,
match,
was it
with
is
taking
it
your
like
compasses
110
and
seconds
then,
right now? Or?
Yeah.
doing your different
Yeah, that's a
cooldown
very odd
abilities.
like
And
timer
you
to
have
be
that
on,
sort
but
of
yeah.
relatively similar
Acceleration's
cycle,
gonna get a
depending,
5-second nerf probably.
regardless of what job you would do.
It's a
So
55
even
right now.
if you kind of go into your alt job, you'd still have that kind of
Flechette's
similar
on a
tempo
25.
or that cycle
And
that you can
Contra's
keep,
on a-
keep up with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely going to make classes burst and line up much better because everyone is on similar
Of
cooldown.
course, there is a caveat to that.
Yeah, Red Mage might change big
当然
time.
ですね、すべてを押せ切るわけにもいかないので、
Your dash is on a 40 second?
120になってるわけではございません。ここは忘れずにぜひご注意ください。
But that being said, of course, we were not able to align everything. That's exactly 60 seconds or 120 seconds. So please understand that not all of your
Sleeve draw
actions
might get a buff.
match up
Those are
perfectly,
180 seconds right
exactly.
now.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to get pulled down to 2 minutes then.
I mean, it just says primary abilities, so I don't know what they consider primary abilities.
残念ながら90秒
Oh, please not at all. Yeah, I guess not all abilities.
It's like the ley lines. Oh no, it's not 60 seconds. No, that one still remains to be 90 seconds. Apologies.
Yeah, so ley lines won't be changed. So I wonder if that's similar to the warrior one then, like some of these things just won't get a new
If
cast
not
timer or
like me, I'm not aligned
cooldown.
to your timings.
プロデューサーのメインジョブのね主力アクションがそのなんか寄せていく対象に入ってなかったっていう。
It's kind of unfortunate. The main job of the producer of the game missed out on having his timings of his ability. One of the main abilities kind of aligned to that kind of cycle.
公平に取り扱われてる。
フェアですよ。そういう意味
Fair.
だと
The
フェアです
battle team treat every job fairly.
みんながパンモンやってる間にその30秒後に次の魔王を私開いたりしてあいつ一人で何やってんだみたいな空気が調整中にもございました。
So like everybody else is doing their abilities and their nice cycled timing, and then 30 seconds later I come in with my ley lines and everybody's kind of looking at me weird, like what is he doing off timing?
ではですねこの
Yeah, I missed it. Are they gonna change up ley lines or are they not gonna change up ley lines?
Wish she was talking. They might be.
Because I mean, first time around, it sounded like they weren't gonna do that, but then it sounded like they were gonna do that. So.
How currently she comes in off of normal rotation.
Yeah, I mean, Yoshi P mains Black Mage if I'm not mistaken, as his like primary class he plays.
Kind of building upon that 5.0 Shadowbringers, and then a lot of the primary abilities have been aligned to kind of fall in place between 60 or 120 second cast timing. So
I think I'm burning the inside of my throat.
There will be abilities that kind of change in accordance to those updates. So if you could keep that in mind, and there's something that I want to watch, I want you to watch as you think about that.
So are you ready? 皆さん大丈夫ですか？
What are we gonna get?
20分ありますので、
はい。
私もコメントはしません。ぜひですね、ゆっくりご覧いただければと思っております。あゆみさんここまでまず一
Did
回。
you just say a 20-minute footage?
So we will be looking at a 20-minute footage. None of us here will be making any comments. So
What
if you
the
could take the time
fuck?
to watch the
What are we
footage,
getting?
and then he has more to say.
Did they say 20 minutes?
6.0エンドウォーカーのジョブアクショントレーラーとなっております。
This is the 6.0
Hell yeah!
trailer.
どうぞ。
20 minutes.
Well,
20-minute break.
nope.
They didn't even give me a pop-up. Tell me that this movie would last.
Hey, listen, Scrim, you need to be here and discuss it.
Oh. 20 minutes.
I mean, it won't be much of a discussion if everyone is fucking muted, will it? Wow.
Wait, is there an 8th ride on the moon?
Yeah, how else do you think we would get there? Ah, Dragoon skills. I mean, I don't really play Dragoon, so I can't really say much about this, but yeah.
They're saying that's a new bar?
Is it? I don't know, I haven't unlocked the Dragoon bar, so I can't check.
Dragoon does some cool shit. The Warriors just encasted us off, I think.
Ah, hell yeah, Warrior, let's see what's happening here. What's he doing, using AoE abilities on a single target? Pfft. Well, that was a new ability, I think. With the, like...
No, it's not.
What makes you say that?
Because I recognize the animation.
The one when where he got surrounded by like fire and shit. I don't recognize that ability.
No, the spinning of the axe above his head.
Yeah, that one is old, but I meant was like one of the ability where he got like surrounded by flaming rocks or something. That one looked new.
Well, what was that?
I don't know, they're kinda mixing in new abilities, so unless you're like really pinned down on the animations. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I definitely recognize some new abilities, but it's kind of hard to tell.
No.
Hell yeah!
That's good.
Red Mage!
Yeah, I mean, Red Mage is... Oh. Is that one new? The one they finished on.
That was definitely new.
Yeah, I thought so.
There was a giant bubble they did, and then I don't know, and then that laser beam at the end.
Yeah. Wait. Did they put the class they're showing off in the background?
Yeah, because it's healing the tank.
I mean, the tank isn't even tanking.
There's just 2 cars in the background. There you go, Jermaine.
Not super familiar with Scholar, so I didn't see much new.
Yeah, I don't know Scholar at all. Fuck is Villas?
If only Villas was here, yeah, instead of being muted.
Wait, that's new. That's new, right, Jermaine? On the outside of the bar?
Yeah, it is. I think.
So maybe a new buff gets kept up?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
Look...
use.
Go ahead.
I use the simple bar for DK.
I mean, I think that ability with like the blood bubbles or whatever happened around them should be new, right? Because I don't think I've seen that one before.
Everything the dancers do look the same to me.
True. Dancer is like the only class I haven't even fucking played. I've literally just unlocked it and that was it.
I haven't played it at all either. That looked new though. The big feather shit.
Yeah, I'm super curious what they're gonna do with Paladin though. I'm guessing they'll leave Reaper and the other one for last.
Dang. Her fucking life.
Hmm?
I got ads on Twitch. I don't give a fuck about the answer. But yours is also behind.
Yeah, well, I don't get ads on YouTube, so go watch it there instead.
It's because I have YouTube Premium. I'm watching a restream of it though.
Ah, fair. Machinist.
7 fucking ads.
Yeah, but what is that map they're in? Like a fucking burnt down city?
Yeah, the one for the Scholar had like cars in it. So does this one. There's just cars in the background.
I mean, this must be in the Empire or something then.
Yeah, probably right.
Unless this is a like city on the fucking moon or something. Moon civilization?
On the moon?
Secret Ashkin base on the moon. I think there was a movie about that.
Yeah, I think they were Nazis.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie?
I don't know, it's in Wolfenstein too.
See, the Gunbreaker doesn't get a healer, he gets a red mage for some reason.
Does it mean that he's gonna have a party boss?
Yeah, he just did some shield or something to the red mage, it looked like.
Or whatever shield he just did is new. think that might have been new, that AoE too.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I'm definitely seeing some new animations, but seeing as I haven't played Gunbreaker much, I can't really recognize it super well.
Yeah, I've been playing that lately. I think those are new. That's fucking Twitch ad, better stop.
Yeah.
Before it gets to a classic era. Fucking add 6 of 7.
I think that arrow thing might be new, not the rain of arrow, but the earlier one with like a bunch of arrows, like shooting towards the target.
The spread shot one.
I think. I mean, these could also be higher level abilities that I haven't seen yet, but the last two ones I haven't seen before.
Oh, for fuck's sake. The Astra has a whole new card? Maybe they'll be able to hold a card now?
Maybe?
Yeah. Wait, he just spent that Lady of the Crowns as an AoE. That's new, whatever that damage was. That's fucking new.
Yeah. It looks new as well.
No, I think that's just aspect of I think that last thing might be new though.
Like that fucking meteor thing?
Oh yeah, the meteor thing is definitely new. There's Samurai.
Hell yeah. It's a tiger.
That sound does look fucking sick.
This must be like the place, one of the city-states, one of the new ones with like the Hindu inspired or whatever.
Yeah.
Looks sick as fuck though.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool. Samurai looks the same as far as its gauges go.
Yeah. Unless they could get like a ultimate sticker or something. Maybe they combine all the stickers to an ultimate sticker.
Even the little badges underneath the sword hilt?
Yeah, they're when you do the one of the finishers, you get 3 of those.
Holy mage?
I think that last one was definitely new though, but I couldn't see super lots new. I mean, white mage, of course they start with glare.
Hey, what is that thing on the right? That thing's pulsing heals.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Wow, I guess they can plant like a fucking heart flower or whatever that is. And it seems to reflect some of the heals, so maybe it like bounces heals to party members or something?
Maybe like extend stuff.
Yeah,
You hit it and then
maybe.
it recasts or something. Be pretty cool. What the fuck is happening?
Ninja stuff.
I don't think I've seen that before.
That one definitely is new. Yeah, well, there's some cool stuff in there. But where's our paladin at?
That was nothing. That pillar. It's like a new ice spell.
There's a different thing on that bar.
Is there?
Oh, the black page?
Yeah,
I don't
the
know
like
anything
little
about it.
middle thing. That's new, I think.
That like
That is.
purple bar that's ticking down, or
No, the one that's like flashing, that's on the left, that's in between the two. It's not flashing anymore. Now it's flashing.
oh,
Sage.
Sage Hill. Yeah, let's go.
Looks like a lot of shields.
It's got 2 collections of 3 dots, a bar, and what's like a cross or something.
I kind of like how stuff's looking.
Yeah, well, you're probably gonna have to fight villas to the death to play it.
Is that a PBA? You need to charge, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool as fuck.
I don't know anything about Monk either.
Same.
Oh, they're right. Why is there 2 dummies? I'm about to do some dumb shit.
What the fuck's this class?
Monk.
Apparently, there's a new gauge, a completely new gauge.
Yeah, I haven't played Monk super high. If only Aresha was here. Cough, cough.
Yeah, I'm looking at Twitch chat. They're saying it's a completely new gauge.
Yeah, I don't recognize it, so probably, yeah.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, absolutely nothing else.
I mean, it punishes things. Summoner.
I literally know nothing about this class.
What do you think? Will they get the new summon?
I mean, they have to, right?
Because I mean, currently they have the ultimate Bahamut and what's the other one?
The Phoenix?
Yeah, the Phoenix, right? I mean, there's Bahamut.
Very flashy shit. Oh, that's Garuda.
Yeah, I think you're slightly ahead of me, because yeah. But yeah, that's
I know.
Garuda.
Looks like the summoner people are happy.
Oh?
Yeah, just looking at Twitch chat. And that's your boy. Okay, yeah, Summoner looks pretty cool. Summoner looks a lot cooler.
Oh, wow! Yeah, wow!
Summoner looks a lot cooler than it used to.
Time to play Summoner? But do they have an Ifrit one then as well?
Yep.
Yeah, they have Ifrit.
It's,
Yeah, because I know they have like had the various summons like the Ifrit Eggy and stuff previously, but they didn't have like these ultimate abilities. They can summon the.
oh, he gets a gap closer. And then a melee spell. And he still has Phoenix.
Yeah. So I guess he's got to get all of the fucking. Like
yeah,
he's-
they're building things up.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I guess
that's-
he's. Yeah, I guess he's. They get the. I guess they get the summons as both, like the ultimate
what do you
summons,
get?
and then they have like the ultimate primal abilities.
The fuck is he doing?
Spinning his scythe.
Left a portal.
I mean, this better be edgy, otherwise I'm gonna be disappointed.
Oh, it's
It's pretty edgy, yeah.
it's pretty fucking edgy. That's some sort of group buff.
I mean, are they seriously leaving Paladin for last?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Are they teasing me? 'Cause it kind of feels like they're teasing me.
Is this the Reaper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he leaves Edge a little terrace, and he can teleport back to it. Wow.
Now there's like red form going on.
Yeah, I guess he can like get possessed or something.
I think it might be burst face.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so many Reapers, dude.
Yeah, there is.
Here's your boy, Pally.
I mean, these effects look straight out of fucking BDO, though.
Okay, Paladin got the best.
Hell yeah,
background.
let's go, let's go, let's go. On the moon, hell yeah.
How many viewers in Twitch at the moment?
I have no idea.
That explosion thing was new.
Says down the bottom of it.
I haven't seen the lightning thing either.
Control. Not watching the official stream. Oh, that was fucking cool. That was fucking holy shit.
Yeah, the fucking swords raining down, that's new.
You're Garen now?
Apparently, but holy shit, that looks badass. Fucking hell yeah, I'm hyped to play Paladin. Gotta summon giant swords on people. Hell yeah.
Oh man. That was a
Oh,
lot.
that was intense, dude. Summoners are insane.
It's about your fucking classes, Villas.
I was busy focusing on watching anything. Didn't want to be disturbed.
But first of all, yeah, it's
Summoners are awesome.
20-minute trial, so just
Yeah,
how
wow.
did
I'm going
everyone
Sage.
do?
Like, long story
Wow.
short, I'm going
It's
Sage.
real good too.
Yeah, I just told Ben that you two are probably gonna have to fight to the death to play Sage.
What do you mean? I'm the shield here. I had that from the beginning. I was like, I'm a Sage main, Sage Scholar. I got this.
Wow.
あれなんかローテーションずいぶん間隔短くなったなみたいなのあると思うんで
Hey Jermaine, Air Force One's going on right now if you want some quick currency.
Scholar had no new changes, like none. Like they were just using spells I saw already. Like they was only like we got like there was like a movement skill spell that the guy showed off by running up forward. So summoners scholars could give like a movement speed spell to an in combat movement speed spell to the allies, which is pretty cool. It's not in the game. And you know, besides that, like nothing jumped out at me. Dude, the fact that Sage gets a dash, like a charge, is insane to me.
And like a PBOE too.
まあコメントで多いのはあれですね。召喚師が召
Yeah.
喚師になっているっていうコメントが
One second.
英語も含めて多いですね。
I feel like I see a lot of comments that are saying, "Oh, the summoner is now a summoner, and we're summoning," and that goes for both the Japanese and English comments that I see.
Yeah, I mean, Summoner looks hype as fuck.
The summoner looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, it does.
That was funny comment.
All these colors might just swip the Sage summoner Sage, one or the other.
召喚だけ尺投げずるいっていうコメントがあったんですけど
You level both of them, right? So then I guess level as scholar and then just switch the summoner or some bullshit like that.
Of course, some of you may have noticed that the length that summoner is being featured is a little longer than everybody else, and they were like not fair. But I mean, it's quite a significant change, so we wanted to show off all that we can.
さあじゃあ皆さん頭の中にそれぞれご自身のメインジョブの映像ある程度頭に入ったと思うのでここからロールのお話でそれぞれのジョブのお話っていうので
It's like 4,000 if you complete that.
お話ししていこうかなと思います。
Oh, Air Force One.
Okay, so now
Yeah.
Looking at the job action trailer and having that sort of mental image of your primary job and what actions that you saw, we'd like to dive in. We'll start from the different roles and then go into the different
Yeah,
jobs.
I got perfect
さあ
score.
まずは
Hell yeah.
タンクからいきましょうか。パワーポイントお願いします。
Tank, hell yeah, let's go.
Okay, so jumping into the tanks on the PowerPoint.
さあではタンク全体的なお話です。
Okay, so tanks overall.
はいまず
Using defensive enchantments at optimal times will grant
はい
greater
一部の
benefits.
防御バフに関してなんですけど、単にねそれを実行するだけじゃなくて、例えば敵のダメージの、直前に差し込むことによって、よりちょっとメリットを得られたりとか、他のアビリティと
I
重ね
wonder
て
what that means though. Like,
効果がねさらに付与される
does that mean like if you're using them with tank busters, or are they like part of the rotation, or is a combination with all these spells?
So certain the certain defensive buffs, that you cast, we wanted to, of course, add some benefits to it. So not just simply like protecting yourself from say
using
a
a
tank buster
defensive
or something
enhancement
like that.
optimal
But
times
we wanted to
will
make
grant
it so
greater
that
benefits.
if you are using it in conjunction with different abilities, and
Are your
kind of
defenses
using
gonna
them in
fall off over
combination,
time now, Laura?
it allows for greater benefits and sort of like a technical
Like
aspect
when you
to
pop
some
it,
of
you
these
have like a
defensive buffs.
20%
なんかこれね、
less
ジャストガ
damage,
ード
and
とか
then
パリー
it
とかやる
falls
ね、
off to
サーバークライアン
15%
ト
or
型のゲームで
10%.
ね、さすがにそれは無謀なので、
I mean, I guess we'll see what they say.
例えばですけど効果の短い追加効果があるんで、なんかこう、敵の栄翔の半分ぐらいでもうとりあえず打っときゃいいやだと、まあなんていうの、一応軽減 10% とかは働くんですけど、その後についてる効果がちょっと無駄になるねみたいな感じなので、そこは効果を見てうまく使ってもらえるといいなって感じです。はい。
Okay, so we're not talking about something very exact like a guard just at the right timing or like a parry. That's quite difficult for something that's a client-based MMORPG online. So it's more along the lines of some additional benefit for a short amount of time after utilizing certain abilities. So before you might be thinking, oh, okay, enemy is casting. I'll just go ahead and activate this ability when it's casting, and of course you'll still reap the benefit of, say, it's like a 10% damage mitigation, but there is a bit of a waste, and so by combining it with optimal like ability use, optimal times, you can reap even further benefits.
で、あとですね、また効果がね、それぞれちょっと異なる。自身もしくはパーティーメンバー1人に付与できる防御バフを各タンク上部持っているようになっているので、MT、ST の場合どっちでも役に立つんじゃないかなと思います。
And of course, these different effects do allow for different sort of effects that are being added to you. Some of these are a defense buff where it applies to yourself and a party member. So I think it does come in handy regardless of you main tanking or off tanking.
では次の項目なんですけど、これはねちょっと近接物理 DPS も共通なんですけど、今までウェポンスキルコンボ中にですね、例えばトマホークとか遠隔攻撃を途中に挟むとね、
Yeah, I mentioned Tomahawk, so I guess if it's like a phase where you need to move away from the boss, you can keep doing ranged attacks without fear of like the combos breaking.
Melee DPS as well, but whenever you are activating a weapon skill combo and you insert,
I mean, that's a good change.
Like a tomahawk for your warrior or something like that, like a ranged attack, that would kind of break your combo chain, but we've adjusted it so that that chain is not broken.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the defensives work in like actual combat, though, because it sounded like if you activate it like within the timing of a certain ability, that gives a buff that can like extend to your party or something in similar things. So, I mean, that's definitely gonna make things important to optimize like your defensive uses.
The recast timing leans closer to that 60-second intervals. Your rotations will start to feel a little bit shorter in their terms. So I think it's best to explain it as the number of times that you are attacking and the different skills are being activated kind of goes up in your rotations, and plus without those interruptions, it does give you that feeling of you are making an attack.
まあ例えばボス中心の攻撃が あるので、一回大きく距離を取らなきゃいけないみたいな。
I understand. It's gonna be so
そういう
long.
のを嫌がって遠隔を使わないみたいなねところがあって、
But I understand why this is gonna be so long now.
グローバルクールダウンが無駄にならないのであれば使う局面というのもまあ出てくるだろうし、むしろねグローバルクールダウン中にあえて避けて即戻るみたいな方がいい時もあるし、まあそこら辺は各使うプレイヤースキルが少しずつ差が出てくるんじゃないかなとは思います。
Sure you do.
And so, for example, say a boss kind of has this ranged, not ranged, I'm sorry, an AoE attack that starts from the boss and kind of goes outward, and everybody has to disperse away from the boss. Some people don't want to break their weapons.
I mean, I'm gonna level all the healers except Astra.
Include that sort of ranged attack.
The Astra's still probably gonna be my main.
Sort of adjustment here.
Yeah, I'm gonna level White Mage for the off chance I need to play White Mage.
Cooldown time, global
I'm
cooldown
gonna level
time.
Scholar.
In some strategies, you might have to kind of decide
the only difference between Scholar and
when
Sage,
you
like,
deliberately need
I don't know.
to.
It depends. If they
time
make
your
Sage
GCD
also
so that
like
you can
one
avoid
crit
some of
as
those
much as
attacks. I
Scholar
think
does,
this will
then,
kind of
yeah.
give the tank sort of strategy a little bit of range.
さあでは3つ目なんですけど、これもですねタンクのみというよりは
There will be parity between physical and magical damage attributes of weapon at the same item level accompanying action potencies.
And then the third item, and this doesn't apply just to tanks, but
What?
anybody who is making.
I
some
don't know,
kind
there
of,
will be parity
physical
between physical and
attack.
magical.
ちょっと
So I guess some of the weapons will have magical damage on them as well for like paladins and things, I guess.
今までファイナルファンタジー14のベースのバトル計算式っていうものの中に
I don't quite know what to make of that. Gonna have to look more into that.
物理か魔法かみたいなよくあると思うんですけど、まあ当然物理攻撃の計算式と魔法攻撃の計算式っていうのがそれぞれ一つずつね存在してます。はい。
So of course, with Final Fantasy XIV, we have this sort of calculations of the damage that is being dealt, and there's like a base or like a fundamental formula that is applied. And I'm sure those of you raiders know to discern if an attack is a physical attack or a magical attack. And each of these have their own sort of formula to calculate the damage that is being dealt.
これは新生14レルムリボーンを開発した時に、作ったものなんですけど、当時ねどういうふうにさらにこうバトルをアップデートしていくかっていうのがいろんな可能性が取れるようにするためにこの物理攻撃っていうベース基礎計算数字と、魔法攻撃基礎計算値っていうのを、それぞれ設定してたんですね。別々に調整できるように、はい、で、こっちが魔法攻撃力だとするとこっちが物理攻撃力。
Did Gunbreaker have any non-physical attacks?
こいつの値はちょっと高かったんですね。物理計算式のベースになってる値より。
And so, with Final Fantasy XIV,
I don't know how to tell.
Final Fantasy XIV.
On Paladin, some attacks say unexpected damage. For example, that's the holy skills, right?
When Final Fantasy XIV was being relaunched as A Realm Reborn, we tried to make sure that the programming is it allows for future updates in the battles, and we try to leave the different possibilities open. So the fundamental sort of physical damage calculations were set up so that we have two separate formulas going on. So we have the magic damage, damage attack calculation, and then we got the physical attacks. And when we were initially thinking about these two separate ones so that we can adjust them separately, the team did determine that with the magic attacks, it does tend to be a bit more complicated in the different calculations. So the base, like the fundamental value, is set just a little bit higher than the physical base fundamental numbers.
レベル80になってもこの差っていうのは縮まらない。
So magic is gonna do more damage?
で、もう今後バランスをきれいに揃えていくために、
Or does it do more damage currently?
物理攻撃計算式の基礎値を
I'm not quite sure about
同じ値
that.
まで引き上げました。完全に同じ数字になるようにしました。はい。
And so, with the characters now leveling up to level 80, this fundamental number did not change as we raised the values. And so with this update, in order for us to make sure these are balanced, sorry, left, right, we kind of pulled up the physical base numbers so that it matches the magical damage attack.
で、じゃあそれをやるとどうなるかっていうと、まあ物理攻撃が
So magical attacks did more damage as it is currently, but they're gonna even it out.
使ってる数字が上がるので、掛け算すると当然その数字
That's the way I understand it.
今まで使ってたそのベースが高くなった分、各アクショ
Dude,
ン
all these hand gestures are really distracting me from what they're saying. Especially when the translator tries to use the same hand gesture.
なるほどね。
うん。バランスをちょうど揃えるために威力の数字が落ちてます全部。はい。
So what that means is that with the base numbers being equalized, the physical attacks would naturally become stronger by default, because of course the fundamental number has been raised to match so that both of these are balanced. But that being said, we needed to calculate down so that the
Dude, this translator is a
potency
fucking
that
boss.
is listed as a number goes down.
She's saying these things.
なぜこの説明をこんな丁寧にね、吉田猫可愛いなみたいな、そんなつもりでやって
So
ん
the
じゃ
way
な
I
いんだよ。
understood it, the physical damage is naturally going to go up because they're evening out the numbers, but the overall damage is going to go down due to the number crunch, right?
スクリーンショットが出ると思うんですよ。
LA?
その時にあれも弱体
What are you guys watching it on?
あの数字も下がった。
On YouTube.
この数字も下がった。吉田は何
I think he's watching it on Twitch.
みたいになる。
Yeah, restream.
Man, these must be out because you guys keep talking when she's doing the translation. When the fucking Japanese are talking, you guys are quiet.
ご了承くださいねっていう。
Oh,
Because we fluently all understand Japanese.
yeah. You don't speak Japanese? Wow.
That's beside the point. So with the adjustment of the fundamental numbers going up,
Do you not
of
have
course we
phones
have to
that
adjust
translate
the
Japanese?
potency numbers so that
Sure.
even if it's raised, it stays
Translated
down.
under
So
the
the
sea.
maps themselves look like they're low.
Yep, beneath the
So
ocean.
I wanted to bring this up because now that we're going into the media tour and we're going to have members of the media and influencers kind of play the game and see the potency, and they would take photos or screen captures of the
Right.
game screen, and people might wonder, oh my gosh, have they nerfed some of these potencies? Oh no, this one has gone down too. What happened to all
Y'all
of these
ready for
physical
this?
melee attacks? What the heck? But just please understand, the potency is noted as
This
like a lower
gate.
number, but that's only because our fundamental.
What's
oh
this
no,
for?
This one has it to
It's a little
make it
like
even
event
out.
thing
So
that you can do,
it's
like a
across
jumping
the
puzzle
board. You
for
might notice
some
that.
MGP thingies.
はい。という説明でした。これはまあタンクだけでは
This
な
one
く、
is a jumping puzzle specifically, but there are other ones.
例えば近接命令 DPS もそうだし、遠隔命令 DPS もそうです。同じことが起きるので、それはそれぞれの項目でもまた軽くは触れますけど、ご承知おきください。
But of course, again, this is not
I
just
fucked
for
up.
the tanks, but anybody who is dealing physical attacks.
Yeah, get hit by a bomb.
So that means melee, like close range DPS, as well as ranged physical DPS, will be affected by these numbers.
Yes, all they're saying is they're gonna up the physical damage and reduce the potency of the abilities, so the damage is gonna remain the same essentially.
歳のおじさんにそれはないだろう。
So it might look like it does less on paper, but it's gonna be the same.
Please don't call me cat.
あ、そうか。声だけだとね、機嫌悪いのってなるんで、確かに。まあ大丈夫です。ジョークなんで。はい。
And then people start to comment, oh, Yoshida sounds angry. No, don't worry, I'm not angry. I'm just joking.
Nope, Paladin
じ
specific.
ゃあ続けて1
Wow,
目ない
you're a couple of seconds ahead of me. Spoilers!
Okay, moving on to the paladin.
はい、じゃあ1行目どうぞ。
Tell me what that means.
まあ、リクエストカットの、効果をね、
What's wins?
気にせず使えるように、まあ、
Fuck those
Requiem Cat will,
さっき
yeah.
の動画でもご覧いただいたと思います。コンフィテオールから
Starting
発生する
with
三段
configure
コンボ
what?、
勇者みたいな三段コンボが、追加されてます。まあ、主になんで、まあ、これ以外にね。
Requiem Cat is the thing you use to make like your range rotation instacast, essentially. So what that means is instead of like reducing damage as your mana go down, it just stays the same potency throughout.
Reckless Cat will now be equally effective regardless of remaining MP, and then a free
Because the
attack
way it
combo
is currently, I
starting
think
with
it's if you're
Meteor
above
will be
50%
added.
mana or something, you,
Seen in the job action trailer
if you're above
earlier,
50%
but,
mana,
yeah,
you
there's
do more
this
damage
really
essentially, I think it
neat
is
sort of
currently.
combo that happens after you launch Confiteor. So yeah, those are
No, if it's
some
80
of
or
the
higher,
niche updates.
so
Of
your
course, there
first two
are
casts do
other,
50% more
multiple
potency, but now it's just going to be
different
straight up,
adjustments that were made to the tank.
like,
Those
more
are
damage.
the main ones that we wanted
Last
to
jump is
pick up
fucking
here.
cancer.
まあ、ナイトはいわゆる正当進化で、まあ、何かがめちゃくちゃ変わるっていう
3
ことは
attack combo starting with
感じです。
Confiteor
で
will
基
be
本
a...
ローテーションはただちょっと
I guess that must be the
あまり
giant
にも脳死になら
sword
ないよう
summon
に
that we saw at the
少し
end,
工夫というか
where you
考え
get
る余地
like
みたいなのを
more stuff of
今回入れて
Confiteor.
あります。
So with Paladin, it's just a straight evolution.
It's gotta
kind
be a
of
big
keeping
spender
in the
gun.
trend with Shadowbringers going into Endwalker. So it's not a drastic difference per se, but of course we don't want y'all to be brain dead as you're doing your rotation. So there are some aspects that will require some strategy, require some thinking.
で、突進のですね、インタービーンの、
Yeah, so I guess at the end of your magic rotation, you get 2 more abilities of Confiteor that you can do.
まあその辺の使い勝手の向上もさせてもらってます。
I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool.
The gap closer, Intervene, has been adjusted as well. There's an additional 5 yalms you can move forward, so it's a total of 20 yalms you'll jump in.
Hell
で
yeah.
は続いて戦士いきましょう。はい。
Okay, next up is the Warrior.
まず一つ目。
Wait, what?
戦士はですね、まあ、範囲攻撃のローテーションをやるにも一定間隔で、まあ、ブレハをやらなきゃいけなかったんですけど、今回範囲コンボだけでもそもそも、バフが付与されるようになってます。
I mean, that's a pretty good upgrade, because currently you would need to, like, do a single target rotation to get your damage off and then start your AoE rotation, but if you can just get the damage off from the AoE rotation, that's going to help on AoE pulls.
And extended by AoE combos. So I'm sure as you're playing Warrior, at one point you'd always have to insert Storm's Eye into it in order to kind of sustain. But we have made it so that it can be triggered and extended even if you're doing your AoE combos. So I think it's it causes for smoother transitions if you want to do like a single target rotation into like an AoE rotation and back and forth.
先ほど動画でももうすでにお気づきの方がいると思うんですけど、2つ目。
I mean, that's definitely going to make things easier in
ア
dungeon.
ップヒーバルからビーストゲージ消費がなくなってます。
And then the second point, and you may have noticed this from the job action trailer, but Onslaught and Upheaval will no longer drain the beast gauge.
So that's the charge and the OGCD attack.
現象の解放の実行後に発動できる新しいアクションが追加されています。
New action upon
And
inner
then,
release,
there
that's
is
the
a new
rage thing.
action that will be available upon execution of inner release.
So I guess super fell cleave?
あと大きいのはですね、原初の解放のリキャストが60秒になってます。まあその分だけ回転数が上がるので、効果回数は3回になってます。で、まあ頻度は上がるんで、だるさは減るだろうなと思います。
And note with the inner release, the recast time for that will be adjusted to 60 seconds.
Ooh,
so,
that's gonna be big.
You will have the effects for
60
3
second
times.
inner release.
And so I think that
Yeah,
will
so
allow
that's a
for,
30-second
the
increase, like
frequency
quicker
to
you can
be,
use that.
more often. So it
Because
kind
it was
of
90
reduces
seconds
that sort of
previously.
dragging or lagging feeling.
あとはですね、オンスロート、さっきね、ビーストゲージ消費なくなったって言いましたけど、さらにオンスロートのチャージがタンク唯一の
I
3
mean,
な
that's
の
gonna
で、
raise Warrior's
かつ
DPS a
キンアク
lot.
ションがあれ結構遠距離からも打てるんで、実は機動力かなり高いです。
And then we mentioned about how Onslaught will not drain the beast gauge. We are also adjusting that to have
Where do I
a
go to make
charge
some
of
fucking money here?
And then with
Just do
new
the various
action that
activities,
stems from it,
like
it
the
does allow
gambling things.
for a lot of mobility. The beast
What?
gauge.
あとは原初のタケリも今
The
回
little
パワーアッ
mini
プさせてあるの
games.
で、
You can play Mahjong. You can play Triple Triad.
And then
You can play
the-
Vermilion. You can bet on the Chocobo races.
Was,
Fashion
I
Report.
say nascent chaos. No, that's not it.
That's most of it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I can do some inbreeding of chocobos, can't I?
Yeah, you can do chocobo
アク
breeding.
ションベア難しいんですよ。
Never actually done it. I might actually go over there since we're not
ね、
doing
日
it.
本語と英語全く違いますからね。
Inner
I bet there's mad money in that.
It's like a whole list of achievements on it. I know that.
So
今
sorry guys, it is nascent flash.
Ah.
Sorry about that. Nascent flash will allow for it.
I don't know, I'm just
So,
smashing
if
this
you're
hammer on the
outranking,
crystal tower.
It will also help you.
Yeah, it's
there.
like the easiest one to repeatedly do.
はい。という感じでございます。
But they
はい
kick you off, so you can't fucking automate it.
They kick you off? What do you mean?
They don't let you just repeatedly do it over and over. You have to accept
は
it
い、
each
では
time.
続いて暗黒騎士いきましょう。
Oh, yeah.
Okay, moving on to the
Salted
Dark
Earth
Knight.
will now affect the area immediately
まず
around you
一つ目
and make a new
ソ
action
ルトアー
available.
スの設置位置がですね、結構こうめんどくさかったグランドターゲットで、
Salted Earth is the, like, a red little circle he puts out. It's like a AoE dot thingy.
Don't you have to have a
So
macro right
with,
now to drop it?
Dark Knight, Salted
Yeah.
Earth will now affect
So
the
that's-
area
you're gonna
immediately.
be able to get rid of
around you,
that.
Make a new action available.
Yeah, I'll just make
You
it.
may
I mean, that's
remember you
fine.
had to
Like,
place
that's
it
all
on
you would
there,
use it
but
for,
now it's
really.
very
Like,
clear
After it, though.
where you are standing.
Yeah, I mean, I
and
guess
from
you
there
just
stands
drop like a
new
field
action.
beneath your feet now, and you can use some new action of that.
Yeah, I mean, the good news about that is that it actually makes a big difference because you can double weave a lot easier. That's the biggest issue with double weaving it.
Yoshida had to like set up a macro so that we
Is
could
that the
place
macro
salted
takes time to run or
earth.
whatever, or
So
do
it seemed a
something.
little pointless, so we have made adjustment there.
で続いて、まあ、プレイヤーが新しいアクション、習得するので英雄の英神もその新アクション使うようになりますよ。
Simulacrum, is that the shadow?
And so
No,
the
it's
second
not. What's
point
that?
was your simulacrum will also gain a new action when you acquire one of your new one of the new job abilities. So your living shadow is going to learn new
Yeah, living
actions as
shadow.
well.
まあ暗黒は今綺麗に結構ローテ回せてるんで、極端になんか
Yeah, so
変わる
the
ってこと
shadow
はないんです
will
けど、た
get
だ
new stuff.
デリリアムのリキャストが、こちらも60秒になって、3回までの効果になってます。なのでやっぱりこっちも回転数は上がります。
And so I think with the Dark Knight, the rotations are pretty clean and straightforward. But one of the other changes that are being applied is Delirium. Recast time
Delirium's
will be
changing to
adjusted
60
to 60 seconds. And that would be also
Oh, sick. That's
up to
huge.
3 times.
That was
So
on a
again,
2-minute.
I think frequency will go up again.
あとはプランチカットの、射程範囲も20メートルに、拡大しますね。5メートル伸びる。で、あとは新技でブラックナイトとは別に単体ターゲットの防御バフも追加されています。
And so with plunge,
Makes it line up
that
with
is also going
your double
to,
thing.
Extend.
Actually, wait, it's
its
90 seconds right now.
range, another 5 yalms, so a total of 20 yalms. And then there will be a new action that's added separately from the Black Knight. Would be a single target defense buff.
はい、暗黒騎士はこんなところで、続いてガンブレイカー行きましょう。
Boo, Gunbreaker, who plays that?
That's it
Boo.
for the Dark
Ah, just
Knight. So
kidding.
moving on to Gunbreaker.
はい、まず一つ目、サベッジクロー、ビケットタロン。
Haha, those are things that they can do
ソイ
probably.
ルコンボですね。こちらがですね、ホットバー
Oh, okay. They're taking your cartridge spender combo and putting it on one
楽に
button.
なるんじゃないかなと思います。操作量。
So the first point says
This
Savage
Gnashing
Claw
Fang
and
is
Wicked
your
Talon will now spawn
30-second
immediate Gnashing Fang on
cooldown
the bar,
cartridge
reducing the number
spender.
of inputs. But
Alright.
basically, your
You
cartridge
use
combo
on
that
your
starts off
damage
with
cooldown,
Gnashing
then
Fang
once in
will
between, and
be
then
like
once
a
on it,
one
and then
button
back on it.
combo where
Alright.
it will kind
So
of
it's just gonna swap it out.
replace the
Kinda red mage
Savage
style.
Claw and Wicked Talon will swap
Alright, cool,
in
cool.
its place to do the combo.
なので、まあ、
That's like
よくわかんないっていう人に。
one of my bars basically. It's just that combo.
2段目のサベッジクローにアクションがもう自動的に置き換わるので、そのまま同じアクション実行すると、サベッジクロ
Look like such
ーで、3段目のビケットタウンが、
I wanted to see something different
置き換わるっていうことで、ホットバーがかなり節約できるんじゃないかな。
one or two things. I have to like
So just to
go on,
kind of
like,
explain it
re-examine this
further,
color,
basically, you,
this color
I mean,
like we mentioned, it's going to be a one button.
explain in a second, so we'll see
combo
what they
that's
actually
triggered
do.
when you start off with Gnashing
Yeah,
Fang.
can you imagine the summoner
and
change
then
is
in
going to
that
be a
same
whole
slot, you'll
fucking
have Savage Claw.
book
and then
by
once
itself?
you've triggered that,
These are like
you move
2-3
on to
lines. The
Wicked
fucking
Talon.
summoner is
So
going to be
I
a whole
think,
book.
it'll definitely
Summoner
save
was already
space
the
on
most
your
complex class in the
hotbar.
game. They just made it more complex.
Meanwhile,
this thing-
From what I saw, it was like the seals from Astra that you had to build up to summon certain elementals. Or primals, I guess.
And then for any sort of
From what I saw, they were using
actions
Ink
that are
to
inserted
swap,
in between,
to swap between
it will continue to be
like Garuda,
sorry,
Ifrit,
continue to be
Titan.
continued.
They're using Ink to swap
And we'll be able to use.
Continuation will be able to be used for like Burst Strike.
ファーストストライクの後にコンティニュエーションで、次
I don't know what that means.
What is Burst
And then the
Strike?
second point clearly states continuation
Oh, Burst
will
Strike,
be
sure.
able to
Oh.
be used following Burst Strike.
Oh, that's weird.
そして、動画でも出てましたね。
So currently, continuation.
3スタックに、増加しております。
Ooh, you get an extra cartridge.
And then,
That's
of
super
course,
huge.
you may have noticed this in the trailer as well.
So currently,
Trait will raise the
continuation, it
maximum
changes
number of
based on
cartridges to 3.
the last of the cartridge spender combo that you
ラフ
did.
ディワイドの選択タイムこれ他のタイム
Basically,
に合わ
you
せて
usually only use it at the end of the cartridge spending.
And then
I think it
Rusty
ends the
Vine,
combo,
of course, has
Okay.
Although it might,
been,
I might be
adjusted
fucking
to
up.
match the other
I need to go to a dummy.
capsules in the tanks as well.
でやっぱりこれ
But basically, that lets you use it after your
最大スタック数の追加で
anytime instant cartridge spender.
より結構戦略的になってるかなと、そのボスのタイムラインに合わせて開幕から全部使い切っていくのか、ちょっと抑えめに始めるのかっていうところは結構
I might actually be fucking up this entire cartridge spender combo.
And then with the
And I've been out DPSing
cartridges
people.
and the maximum stacks has been raised, I think that definitely adds an element of strategy. So you might want to decide if you want to go in full on and use up your different cartridges during the timeline.
I mean, you're still going to
earlier
want to sit on 3
timeline,
cartridges for your
or
burst,
do you
basically.
want to kind of save it for later, etc.
さて、タンクは、
DPS
以上でございます。はい。
Okay, so I think that covers all of the tanks.
Yeah, but which DPS?
さあでは続いて、ロール、メレー DPS、近接物理 DPS いきましょうか。
Okay, next up is the
Ryan, how did you
melee
make
dex.
40,000 in a couple of hours?
じゃあまずメレー DPS 共通
Oh
の
god, I've been
観
using
点から
it
で
the
す。
entire time. I'm so
一つ
bad.
目、牽制の効果内容がちょっと変わる。
Achievements and things.
So first is
I'm
something
actually
that
angry
applies to
myself.
all melee DPS,
DPS can be so much
but,
higher.
the effect for feint is
I
going
was
to
wondering why
change.
this class felt kind of boring.
レイドでですね、
はい
軽減の打ち合わせなどを
Never been using the weave
ヒーラー
skill.
さんとタンクさんとしておりますとですね、まあ私黒間だからなんですけど、近接さんがですね、牽制は
Ooh, feint's gonna reduce damage dealt.
ところに
So that'll be like
置いときますね。
pop that down in a
な
tank
るほど
poster.
にちょっとなっていたので、はい。
Let's see, which ability is Feint?
So with this feint, and this
I
is
actually don't
probably
have a melee
applicable
DPS.
to a lot of you who go into raids.
Ah,
and
Feint
Yoshida being a
lowers
black belt,
target
you would
strength and
discuss
dexterity by
beforehand with,
10%.
the DPS and tanks and healers to kind of talk about. Okay, so when
Yeah, so
are
that's
we going
similar
place
to,
this? And they're like,
yeah.
oh, feint.
That's a thing to make the boss do less
maybe
damage,
we'll
I guess.
place it where auto attack hurts the most. So we are going to adjust that.
まあでも実際
I mean, that's pretty cool. That means the entire party's gonna have to cooperate to, like, cycle through their things to debuff the boss.
実はめちゃくちゃ痛くて、タンクも防御を
I mean, everybody's a little bit responsible.
実は AA で落ちがあるんですよ。
Less
そ
responsibilities
こ
for
に
the
ね、牽制
Julia.
結構
Hell yeah.
効くんですよ。
I mean, same responsibilities, but just more responsible. That means that the bosses are going to do more damage, so there's more people to fuck up. Because there's going to be at least 2 feints in the party. So it's going to be 2, if you're going to run 2 melee and 2 range, there's going to be 2 feints. And then 2, whatever the soothe one is, I think, from...
So I mean, to be fair,
I
with
mean,
some of
tanks
these
have
bosses,
a reprisal, which
sometimes
already
the
does that same
attack,
thing.
the auto attack that follows after
Does
the
range
the
have something
cluster or the
similar?
large damage.
Yeah, Adol lowers
Hurts a
intelligence
lot,
and mind.
and it's
Yeah,
immediately
so that's
after
gonna-
the tank has
yeah.
Magic damage
already
one.
used up their defense.
They're all gonna
buff. So,
reduce both, but
sometimes
it's
it
gonna be
does
more
come in
potent
really
towards
handy to
magic for
place
range,
things right after
and
one
the
of those
melee
really
one,
large
DPS one's gonna be more
attacks.
potent towards melee.
But
Yeah, so you
so
gotta figure
we
out which
will,
damage is
there
which
will
on the
be an
fucking boss
additional
fights.
effect
Mhm.
of mitigating magic damage. Of course, that being said, the
But yeah, that
proper,
just means
like,
the DPS are gonna have
protection that you
to
wanna
get
have
involved
against,
with the tank's
magic,
defensive rotations and
damage,
things.
is
Mhm.
Adol that some of
And the
the
healer's
casters can
mitigation.
have, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
I mean,
just in case,
It seems
gonna-
fun.
This is a new
that's
thing for
a
DPS to
handy
learn
sort
how to
of
fight.
Yeah.
benefit to it.
I mean,
I say it's fun,
that's
but
good.
that's me playing tank, right? So
Everybody right there, they're not gonna lose there. So, more uptime for melee.
I mean, that's good too. Like, when like a heavy hit is coming, they just most DPS just
And then second point
continue doing their
is
rotation. They
similar
don't
to
really
what we
care.
had discussed
The
during
healers
the
show,
tank
I don't
roles,
care.
but the
even though they have
combos
this
are not
spell
broken
right
by
now,
ranged attacks
they
that are
don't use
inserted
it.
in between.
Yeah.
はいはい。そしてもう一個も先ほどご説明しました、武器の物理基本性能の値というのを上げてますので、
Yes, that's just what they
全体的に
brought up for the
攻撃
tanks.
力が上がった分、威力という数字に関してはその上がった分だけ落としているので、
Which
直しているわけではなくて
basically everything's gonna be the
計
same.
算式が変わったので、
What regard?
今までと違い
Scrim,
ますよ
I have a
とい
message
うのを
for
ご
you.
承知おきください。
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
And third point is also, as
Hey,
we
Captain, what's
mentioned
up?
during the tank roll section, but
Hey.
again,
No,
with
that
the
wasn't
adjustment
Captain.
of
Wow,
the
it's grim.
fundamental damage
That was
impact
Captain.
calculation for
It
physical
was Captain.
attacks.
He came
Did he
out.
jump
We did
out?
have to adjust the potency so that it appears that the potency number might seem smaller, but it is still the same
grab back
strength. We
again.
have not
Start
nerfed it.
again.
We just wanted to match it with the sort of upward adjustment of the fundamental.
Yeah, I just got like an
calculation
18,000 MGP.
From what?
はい。
Like
で
a
は
couple of
ジョブのお
what's it
話
called?
に
Little achievement things.
行こうかなと
Alright.
思いますがよろしいでしょうか。
Dragoon.
Okay, so we are moving on to the different jobs within this role. I think we're good.
まずは、竜騎士からいきましょう。
More AoE rotation.
First is the
I
Dragoon.
think Dragoon's AoE was a little weak anyway.
はい、まあ、竜騎士もね、かなり、なんだろう、綺麗に回ってるので、まあ、今回まず範囲攻撃のローテーションっていうのを拡張して
I
ます
mean, that. Yeah.
So with the Dragoon, I think these also have a fairly clean and straightforward sort of rotation that you can utilize, but we've kind of expanded upon the AoE rotation.
で、あとはウェポンスキルのコンボローテーションを綺麗に成功させていくと実行可能になる新しいアクション。これまあすげえ派手なやつが、多分出てたと思いますけど、動画です。
Ah, so if you don't fuck up your rotation, you get
And
another
then,
skill you can use.
For the second point, a new action will be available upon successful execution of weapon skill combo rotation. It is.
I guess they're
quite
hammering down
flashy. You
on
may have
people
noticed
actually
in the
using the
full
combos and
on
not other
video,
things.
but-
でですね、まあ新技追加されたり、まあ随分時間が経って古くなった技のアクションの上位版が登場して置き換えになったりしてます。なのでボタンがねめっちゃまた増えるわみたいなのはないです。はい。よかった。
So with this one, of course, there are just new actions that are being added with the new level cap. And then with some of the existing actions, and of course, throughout the years, we've kind of upgraded some of these existing actions to become like a higher version of certain actions. And we've just kind of swapped them in place of the base skill. So it's not like we're going to be adding like additional like button presses or like additional slots you'd have to fill.
Bye, Scrum.
で、青の流血は、今回特性に移動しましてですね、アクションとして実行したり、維持する必要はなくなりました。
And then Blood of the Dragon will now
Well, yeah, it did
become
have
a trait,
internet
and
issues
so
earlier,
there
so
will
maybe
no
it
longer
crashed
be a need
again.
to execute it as an action or to
He said he had
maintain it.
a large portion
で、
of
発
the day
動
has
条
been
件下、
internet
それが
issues.
発動条件だった技はすべて通常時に使用
They said he didn't have internet or he didn't have power.
Was it power?
So for any
I thought it
actions
was
that are
internet.
required for the Blood of the Dragon to be activated
I don't pay
will
attention,
be available
Wow.
at all times because Blood of the Dragon will be a trait.
であとはですね、スパインダイブが
Okay,
2チャ
come on, I
ー
don't give a
ジ
fuck
なっ
what
て
you
いるの
do.
で、まあ、ちょっとね、移動に使い
Get
づ
to
ら
the
かった
healers.
と思うんですけど、まあ、移動用に1チャージ
And
I mean,
Red
healers are going to be last by looks of it. I think they're going to do range DPS next, and then caster, and then healer.
Oh, I could do Red Mage.
Spine Shatter Dive is going to be changed to 2 charges. And some of you might have experienced like, oh, I wish I could have used Spine Shatter to kind of move over. But now you'll have that 1 extra charge that you can probably save. So unless you kind of like waste it, but as long as you have it, you'll be able to use it.
で、ランスチャージがリキャスト60秒、リタニーは120秒となっております。
And then Lance Charge recast will be changed to 60 seconds, and Blood Litany recast will be 120 seconds.
はいはい、大丈夫ですかね。
はい。
Yeah, I agree. Let's get to some classes that we care about.
That should be it for
I mean, I assume my Russia would be hyped if it was here, but
続い
yeah.
て文句なんですけど、
はい
文句がすいません、またでかく調整というか、いろいろ入ってまして、
Yeah, that
まず
laser beam is definitely
疾
new.
風陣雷ってい
Excited for
う
that.
その
I mean, it
遊び
seems
が
like a lot of
なくなって
classes
し
have
まった
gotten
の
a
で
laser beam.
まず陶器
I meant the
と
one
いうシ
from
ステムを、まあ、低レベルから使
Red
えるよう
Mage. I
に
just did the Red Mage
習得レ
combo.
ベルを
It's
変
not
更
in
し
it.
てます。
So next up is Monk. And so we wanted to explain this a bit. And first of all,
Oh, free
the
sliding stack
gameplay
is gone.
element of stacking Greased Lightning will be done away with. So we are going to allow for
Chakras will be
chakras
unlocked
to be
at lower
unlocked at a
level.
lower level.
I know what that means. Monk stuff.
そしてですね、もう一個、新しいシステム必殺技っていうものを、搭載することになりました。
And then we are implementing a new system that we called Masterful Blitz.
ですね、もう全体的に拡張されてるんですけど、まず新しく3つのチャクラっていうものが、
So I guess you build up stickers when you're under
So I mean, it's been adjusted
perfect balance,
fairly
and then you
significantly
use
overall,
that
but,
as a finisher,
so,
which is
just
Masterful Blitz, I
going
guess.
into a bit, we will have 3 chakras.
でさらに陰と陽2つの陶器があって、
And then so there will be like a yin and a yang.
その組み合わせによって必殺技の中身が変わります。
And so getting like a balance of those chakras and the 2 different types of it will allow for the different skills to be activated.
ちょっと待ってね。
はい
Wait a moment.
Come on, get the ninja or something that's interesting. Come on.
ちょっと分かりづらいよね。でまあチャクラを付与する仕組みって踏みなりが起動条件になってるんですけど、
はい
踏みなりが、2スタック、チャージのアクションになってます。
So with this chakra system, you will need to activate it using perfect balance, but perfect balance is going to be a charge action that can stack up to 2.
しかも、チャージタイム40秒なので回転が早いです。
And stack, each stack is charged up every 40 seconds, so it's quite fast.
で手数で押すっていうコンセプトは変わってないです。ただ必殺技が入って忙しさがめっちゃ上がるんで、
はい
聖剣好きと
うん
総称打の2つは方向指定が今回なくなりました。
And so, of course, the concept of trying to rush with the different skills that you activate and quickly going through these different skills has not changed. But with the implementation of Masterful Blitz, it does get a lot busier. So we have adjusted True Strike and Twin
Oh,
Snakes
remove some
to
directionals.
not have like a directional condition.
いいですよね。ここまでいいです、
大丈夫です。
で、長年気持ちは良かったんですけど、羅刹賞がですね、今回なくなっております。
And I know a lot of you had enjoyed using this and it felt great, but we will be taking shoulder tackle away.
ただ純粋に新しい移動技、突進技が追加されるんですけど、殴りません。
But in its place, we will be adding a gap closer or like a rush action per se. It will not be something that you use your fist.
ただ味方ターゲットして移動もできるので。味方にその味方が離れてくれたやつにまあ魔文みたいなステップみたいなもんですね。
なるほど。
ステップして即ドスエみたいな使い方ができる感じです。
But with this rush sort of movement, it is going to be simply for moving around, but you can also target your ally or your party member to rush over to them. So say you needed to kind of
it's a
go towards somebody
it's like a shadow step type thing, where you just teleport to an ally or a similar thing. Doesn't actually do any damage.
There's an action that's similar in
but being able to teleport
Black
on
Mages,
like to an ally is pretty cool.
You can go in there to kind of close your distance with your party member.
It's like manipulation of
クローマの場合だと魔文を置いておいてモルボルにステップした後魔文に戻るできるんだけど、今回敵もターゲットできるので、敵から味方へ、味方から敵へ。
Somebody in a whole bunch said I can shoulder tackle healers now.
まあなので羅刹でこう味方殴ってしまうわけにいかんので、
そうですね。
はい、殴らない技には。
So I mean, with the Black Mage though, you would place the ley
What are you going to
lines
say about the
and take a
Reaper though? Are they
step
going to go
and
through all of
rush
the
into your
abilities? Or?
party member and then just go back to the ley lines. But with this new monk action, you can target where you're going to be moving to. So it's not just like a going back.
What
and
is
forth.
this
You can
fucking announcement,
target
dude?
your
Wow's like,
ally
hey, you
to
get in the
rush
class,
over
you'll
to
see it
them
when you fucking see it.
and then maybe
The motherfucker's going through
towards
changes
the,
hard.
The enemy. So
Sorry?
because of that, and you
So
will
if
be
you
will
look
be
at like
able
the
to
WoW
target
announcers,
your
like,
party
yeah, you're
members.
getting a new
You don't wanna
class,
shoulder
new
tackle your
expansion. You'll
allies.
see it whenever.
味方は殴っちゃいけません
Here's
よ
the
ね。
cinematic. We're out.
はい。
We're getting fucking. We're an hour and a half in already.
の必殺技だけ
Yeah, it's totally
やっ
different.
たぜ。
しましょうかという感じでございますが。
People, they want people to understand the changes that are coming to their class. How people make decisions if they want to stay a specific role or class they want to play for the new expansion. Give them a, an idea to go with.
I think just explaining it with words might not be.
I'm gonna
optimal
stay and
in
listen to
terms
see
of
what
trying to get
changes
the message
Scholar
across.
really got to see,
切り替えてよくなってやってください。はい。
if we're truly going to be a CT or not.
In the new region?
Yeah, wow, that place looks amazing.
Everything looks.
It's a level 90 monk.
Yeah.
新エリアですからね。
ねえ。新しい
Because it's a new area.
new area, new
Of course, it's a fucking
region.
Lalafell.
当然
Barely
ですけ
fits
ど、
on the screen.
お伝えしてあるデノミネーションって入ってる状態なので、
はい。
もう全体ギューってね、
うん
数字が縮んだ状
Is
態。
every class leveled?
And just a word of
course.
note, downscaling has been already implemented in this build, so please don't be
Why-
surprised if
Oh.
the numbers feel a lot
Why
more
does he have
compact.
44k HP?
はい。
Never mind.
I have Dave squished the numbers,
こんな感
right?
じです今の3スタックだ。
Did they?
Yeah, they're
Enough,
squishing the numbers, so like all HP, all damage, and everything is going down.
まあ、
Whoa.
テクニカルではあるとは思いますけど、
うん
はい、30秒で
Why is that a big deal, Villas?
で必殺技だけありますよ。
That's 3 independent dashes. It's pretty cool.
Quite technical.
Before the
with a
most
30-second
mobile class was
charge.
that,
So
with
let
2
me show you
charges.
the Masterful Blitz.
はい、お願いします。Yes, please.
I mean, I would argue that Ninja is probably the most mobile class.
Perfect size.
Yeah.
あ
You'll probably get a new teleport
これ
too.
溜まってんの見えますかね、
うんうんうん
3つ。
Can you see the 3 kind of below that chakra gauge?
Man, I better get to see an Astros
こ
bars.
れがチャクラですね。で、ここに必殺技が出てるんで、
I mean, I hope you guys realize we probably have like 2 hours remaining of this.
けた時
We have like 2.5 hours remaining.
Yo.
And so once you have
Yeah.
those charged, up to
Who
3
needs sleep?
chakras that are opened up, you can unleash your master
Might have to call in
focus.
I have
one.
my phone.
で
I have my phone charger. I'm gonna let it charge for
そ
an
れ
hour.
今1
And then I'm gonna
個
watch
使
the
っ
rest
た
of
こ
my
とによっ
bed
て、
while I don't.
Or you could watch it on my stream. Huh?
陽の
陽の陽ですね。はい。
陶器がついておりますね。
So, of course,
Shameless
once
plug.
we have used that stack of 3, we now have an element that's associated with it. Between the yin and the yang, it's yang at this time.
Ah, so at the either side of the 3 dot things.
3つとも同じ。
Then he charged up the yang, or the yin, I mean.
And so, we have something there right now. But another example is if we have 3 of the same.
今、陰
陰がついてますね。
はい。
Yin.
So I guess if you use a balanced combo, that's going to give you yang, and if you do use an imbalanced combo, that's going to get yin.
The yin and yang. It wasn't in my glossary, so I'm going with yin and
そう
yang.
ね、
But
まだないもんね。で、この状態で、さらにチャクラをつけて、最後、一番上まで。
So I guess you need 3
And I have the
combos
other
plus
side,
yin
and then
and
you
yang
stack
to use
your
any skill.
3 chakras again, and then you unleash a pretty flashy move there in your
I mean,
master
yeah, that's
Blitz.
pretty cool.
なるほど。
はい。というわけで忙しいので、まあこの、聖剣好きと、総称だだけ方向指定がなくなって、まあ他は残ってます。
なるほど。
はい。
But yes, so as you can see, it is quite busy with trying to maintain that gauge. So that's why we adjusted the 2 True Strike and Twin Snakes to not be restricted to a particular direction.
ではこれ以上はね、メディアの皆さんの
そうですね。
仕事を奪ってしまう。
So I think we will leave it at that, and we don't want to take away from the media and influencers content. So.
はい。はい。以上となります。敵視リセットして。もうパワポに戻っている。
はい、パワーポイントです。
はい。さあでは続いて侍行きましょうか。
お願いします。
Next up is Samurai.
一つ目、陣風と疾風で付与できるバフを範囲コンボでも付与できるようになったので、
Effect grants by June can be applied by AoE combos. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna similar change to Warrior, where you can use your AoE rotation to get your damage and skill speed buff instead of having to use the melee skills first or the single target skills
This is
first.
kind of similar to the Warrior, but when you're doing your AoEs, it won't be so like.
And I like how I say exactly what they said with Warrior as an example.
Because the effects are applied to AoE combos.
It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
新たな居合術と、つまべ返しに相当するアクション、新たに追加されております。
A new EI jutsu and an action in the vein of Tsubame Gaeshi will be available.
A new action in vein of the Yatsen for AoE then?
I literally don't know what people are saying when they talk about samurai skills. They're literally just talking in Japanese to me.
Yeah, so Jinpei and Shifu are the buffs that you can apply to yourself. One is increased like damage, and the other one is quicker attack speed essentially. You will be able to apply those through your AoE rotation instead of single targets. So it's similar to the change they did on Warrior. And Yatsu and Tsubame Gaishi is like your finisher when you got 3 stickers, like the 3 stickers.
で、ですね、侍なんですけど、
Like Yatsu is the finisher use of 3 stickers, and then Tsubame Gaishi is like a repeat finisher you can do after a finisher, so to speak, like a higher combo of, or a higher potency version of that finisher is used.
Pure melee DPS.
新技追加がまあ主なんですけど、ツバメ
If that
返
makes
し、
sense.
それから明鏡止水のが2チャージのアクションになってるので、コンテンツに合わせてのね、開幕バーストとか調整の余地っていうのは結構増えたかなと思います。
And of course, with the samurai, because it's just a straightforward sort of evolution from the last expansion, we have just primarily added new actions. But the Tsubame Gaishi and Meikyo Shisui have become stackable to 2 charges. So whenever you go into a particular content and you want to go into a fight with that sort of burst of attack, there is a bit of wiggle room if you wanted to like make adjustments there.
で、明鏡止水状態ではですね、コンボの3段目に該当するアクションを打つと、コンボ2段目のバフが得られる。明鏡止水の状態の時だけですけどね。そんな風になってるんで、使い勝手自体も向上してると思います。
And then when you are under the effect of Meikyo Shisui, and then you go into that third phase of your combo rotation, you will be granted the effects of that second combo action. So we're hoping that that will allow for ease of use to be improved.
はい。はいはい。じゃあ、侍は以上でございます。
Okay, so that covers the samurai.
では、続いて
Ninja, let's go.
Next up is ninja.
こちらまず一つ目ですけど、フートン、ドトン、ライトンにですね。
Actually, link it to right on Delton.
それらを
Huton will
ベ
be
ースとす
added.
るアクションというのを追加しております。
So that's what the
So with
single
this
target
one,
thing,
actions
the
to Raiton,
buff,
Doton,
and the
Huton
mud pool,
will
right?
be added.
で、あとはですね、アクションで、フートンを付与できるっていうものが追加されているので、フートン
Yeah,
付与
Huton
維持
is
が
the
楽に
buff.
なるんじゃないかな。
No, right? What is... Yeah, Huton is the buff,
And then
Delton is
an action
the
making it easier to apply
mud pool,
Huton
and
would be
Raiton
added.
is the single
So,
target
whenever
thing.
you do want
Yep.
to sort of apply or keep Huton, and it should allow for you to do that.
An action making it easier to apply Huton will be added.
まあ、そもそも忍術なんてミスしてられないし。
So will it get its
これ以
unique
上忙しくならない
like
よう
button
に
to
して
apply the buff on yourself then? Instead of having to use your
And
stickers?
Of course, with the ninja, it is quite
I
busy.
don't know, that'd be
and
kinda
of
cool.
course, you can't miss
Or
any
instead of
those
using your mudras, I mean.
ninjutsus that you are doing. So we tried our best not to make it even busier than it is already.
ツイッチに4因は勘弁してくれって書いてあるんですけど、残念、4因はございません。
なるほど。
はい。
People are saying, "Oh, we don't want the fourth sigil," but don't worry, we do not have that.
かつですね、今回映画がなくなっております。ですので、ドットがなくなりました。
And of course, we have done away with Shadow Fang, so the dot will be gone.
ドトンやライトンの追加で、まあさっきね、新たな攻撃、まあこれ動画にもありましたね。で、分身の術の効果時間中に使える専用アクションなんかも、追加されたりしております。
But the Shadow
And
Fang
then,
is gone.
Of course, as mentioned, there are some new actions.
Shadow
that are
Fang, which
linked
one was that
to,
again?
It's the dot.
Raijin, as you may have seen in the video.
Oh,
And then,
well, are they gonna
when
replace
you are
it, or?
using The,
They just said they're gonna get rid of it.
I'm sorry.
Huh.
Just feels kind of pointless, you know?
Whenever you're using the Bunshin,
I mean, it lines up with
there
your
is going to be a specific
trick
action
attack,
that
right?
will
For
be
an
added to
additional
that as well.
burst skill, I guess.
はい。
Yeah, but I mean,
はい。ありがとうございます。
That should cover Ninja.
Reaper? Oh, it's a big screen.
Reaper
gets a big screen.
Well, I wonder why, because we know literally nothing about it.
出ました。
新ジョブリーパーでございます。
はい。
Last but not least, this is our new melee DPS job, Reaper.
まずですね、 お伝えしていきましょう。両手釜、新しい武器、両手釜による攻撃、自分自身の攻撃と、
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Attack with the scythe, and they get possessed by a spirit to do other things.
で、最終的にはアバターを自分自身に表示させて、融合するみたいなことができます。
So of course with Reaper, they use the scythe, like a double-handed scythe to attack. So you have your own attacks that you are unleashing, and then you have the avatar that will also attack at the same time. So you're attacking in tandem, and then plus you will be able to service the avatar's vessel.
So this kind of looks like Kane from League of Legends.
Allow for it to kind of possess you to unleash even
you're
more.
building a red and blue gauge.
続いての項目どうぞ。で、1個だけ、シナジー、パーティー強化するシナジーバフも。
It's gonna be a melee that buffs the party?
Just one,
Yeah.
one job that does.
We kind of saw that with whatever it did. It gave to
it's
the
able to grant
the guy that was with him, and then it sucked it back.
Sorry, this is the only like synergy related action that this job has.
Well, I mean, I guess all classes have a similar thing, but
yeah, except for like samurai.
You may have noticed in the video, Reaper was trying to take something out of the bard. It looked kind of ominous.
で、
That looks cool.
移動結構特徴的だったりも
Well, that just means nothing.
どうぞ。特定の状況で結構役立つアクションとか。
Those are just words.
unique and specialized actions give them an edge in specific combat situations.
That means nothing.
And you may have also noticed this in the video, but some of the movements that the Reaper does
Class
is quite
does
unique as well.
More words.
And so it says.
Well, I mean, I assume it's similar to the
situations.
You know, that ability where they jumped back and then teleported back to the portal. Like mechanics like that would be able to help where you can get out of an AOE then back to a different spot or something.
And sort of general explanation of the flow here.
まずこの画面にある
Yeah, I guess they don't necessarily get possessed by the spirit or whatever. It's just like attacks at the same time as a ghostly thingy. I don't know.
So if you take a look at the job HUD there, you see two different sort of gauges. But one of them, the top one, is the soul gauge.
で、ソウルゲージを貯めて、アバターと一緒に攻撃ウェポンスキルを使う。その、ソウルゲージを消費してね。
And then, so you would charge up the soul
Getting
gauge
tired, Ben?
in order to unleash different attacks. And this also applies to some of the attacks that you unleash together with your avatar.
Yep, I'm gonna be talking to myself. Hell yeah.
Deplete some of the charge that is built up
I
in the soul
went to get a
gauge.
drink while they were talking about
で、そのアバターと一緒に戦うと、クラウドゲージっていうのが今度は溜まるので、それが一定以上溜まると、アバターと融合できるようになるので、最終的にはアバターと融合して、さらに特別なコンボをぶっ放していくみたいなのが基本になります。
And then once you unleash the weapon skills using your own attacks plus the avatar, then a second gauge starts to fill up. That is the shroud gauge. And with this accumulating charge,
so you're gonna have skills, the shroud's gonna have skills. They both need to be used to mix to build both gauges. And then it's a red mage. It's a melee red mage.
I mean, I guess Machinist also have 2 bars, right? If I'm not mistaken.
So that's kind of like the basic flow.
Yeah, it does.
どちらかというと、ピュア DPS に近いです。
The question is if it drains the bar simultaneously like it does for Red Mage, or if it's like a separate thing like Machinist.
You get them both up, and then you get the shroud gauge, and you get combined into one being, and that's was the burst phase.
Yeah, maybe.
DPS とは言わないですけど、ピュア寄りです。なるほど。
Of course,
I mean, it gives some nuggets of information about how it's placed, but not much.
So it's not quite as extreme as the samurai, but I think it does skew towards that sort of melee, pure melee.
じゃあこちらも見ないとわかんない よっていう YouTube でチラッチラッ
まあ、わからないですね。
Oh, the gun heat means you can have a full gun party
コ
now.
メントを見たので
Gunbreaker, Sage,
And
Machinist.
I think I see a lot of comments in YouTube, I think, saying that, oh, but we won't understand unless you show it to us.
Oh boy, we're gonna.
Peek. Show us just a little bit. So allow us to
This
show
edgy
it
little
on
fucker.
the gameplay screen.
さあどうぞ
Be a real fucking character.
Wow, what's up with this lullaby hate?
あ、かも。
Not loud.
You can't even see the fucking armor and shit.
これどっかのプロデューサー兼ディレクターが
I mean, that's the Yoshi P's character, isn't it?
Probably.
なんだこの会社って言われてた
On their test server.
Oh, this reminds me of a certain outfit that a certain producer director of a game had worn at a certain event and stood next to our CEO and made people wonder, what kind of game is this?
I mean, it's definitely Bloodborne inspired with the Reaper outfit. It looks like, anyway.
ざっとゆっくり
Or that, like, Grimdark aesthetic.
ほい。
So just a rough overview and kind of take you step by step.
お願いします。Yes,
準
please.
備をします
Sorry, one moment. We're gonna prep.
でこれ一個ねアビリティじゃねシナジのやつにかけました
So that was half a bar at
Apply
once.
Synergistic
But then you just spent
ability,
it too.
then apply the debuff.
で
Alright, flashy skills, very edgy. Seems the blue bar built slower than the red bar.
Backside.
よいしょ
I'm sorry, side attack and then back.
And this is just a big cooldown you use for the
We
red bar.
ran out of charge, sorry.
Was that like a side
で
teleport?
こう殴っていくとまず
Or did it jump back?
ソウルゲージが溜まりますね
Is he a clicker?
So as you can see,
seems like it.
when you continue to hit the enemy, the soul gauge kind of fills up.
This also may not be his character, it may not be his bars or something too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a new class, so.
でアバターを使っ
I mean, not to
て
him.
Yeah, fair enough.
This motherfucker's had this thing for months.
難しいな通訳挟むタイミング
Well,
Sorry, it's kind
I
of
was thinking
hard
it'd be an
to jump
actual,
in with the
like-
translations, but
dark.
でこ
ナイス
れでシュラウドゲージが50にアバターを使えば使うほどシュラウドゲージが溜まると思ってくださいね、
but again, just a reminder, once you
I was thinking
attack
it was
using
gonna
your
be Dark Knight
avatar,
style
the shroud
second.
gauge starts to fill up.
で、これですね
Oh shit.
変身します
Yeah, so you do
And
normal
transform.
attacks to get the red gauge, and you use red gauge attacks to get blue gauge, and then you use blue gauge attacks to do
これちゃん
damage, I
とね
guess.
皆さんのキャラが
And
ボード
then
に
the whole time you're building up the shroud gauge,
But yeah,
which
it,
turns you
each of
into
your characters
demon form.
will take on
a burst, I guess.
its own form,
Yeah,
or
maybe.
not its own form.
And
I'm
you have
sorry.
the you,
It's
you
going
see you
to
had a
take
bunch of fires
form,
there beside
and
the
it'll
gauge,
still be your character.
完全
Yeah.
にダークサイド
and a number that was counting down its duration.
落ちてます
Yeah,
That's
now,
like,
yeah,
consumables.
he completely hold into the dark side.
yeah, cool.
Yes, totally.
これはいい中2って書いてあってちょっと嬉しいですね
英語にしづらい。
This is very, very emo.
でちょっと移動アクションなんですけど、
はい
変わってましてこのポジションから向いている進行方向に対して前に移動するアクションと
はい
後ろに
It's
移動
time
す
to
るア
be
ク
the
ション
edge lord of all edge lords.
Hey, you
as
want me
for
to play
gap
one of those?
closer, there's a move
Me.
where it'll allow for you to move
The
towards,
Reaper
like,
man.
forward, and then there's a way to move kind of.
I mean, you can do
backwards.
whatever, but I mean,
で
if,
その位置
if
に
you
です
want to
ね
be an edge lord,
ゲ
you
ート
know,
を開けてお
you
く
gotta
こと
you
が
gotta
で
at
きる
least
ペー
have
ジ
a
感
spell
勝手に
level,
残
right?
る
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably level it.
ここにゲートのこと
I mean, I think yeah, I'm gonna level it at some point. It won't be like an early game
を
thing.
開けておくことができる一定時間勝手に残る
I
こ
think the
Man,
best
that's
thing to
double.
do,
れで
the best thing to do
Right.
when you start when you start an expansion,
So basically, you'll be
it's to
opening
level
a
one of your
gate
classes
sort of
from
like a rift
8
that
to
you can
90.
go through, and
To
it
start
stays
with that.
open for
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Astro.
で、ゲートが閉じる前
That's
で
what
あ
I'm
れば
saying. That
え
that's gonna be a later thing.
なるほど。
So if you are able
for me,
to
I'm gonna
move
start
before
with
the gate
Scholar.
closes up, you can go back to whatever position you started off.
And then move on to Siege, and then move on to White League.
Because you get 2 fucking classes for it.
But you just play all healers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
まあ
Interesting.
僕
そう
今
そう
調整メインで別にリーパー使ってるわ
I
け
mean,
じゃ
I
ないん
know
ですけど
how to
調
play.
整でリーパー使ってる
Like I've been trying
あ
to
の
learn
ア
how
ンチ
to
に
play
あら
Summoner,
かじめ
but
一
like
旦
these the times I've been playing, I've only been
ギリギリ
playing
まで殴っ
first,
てもらう
so
みたいな
I just kind of stuck with
なる
it.
ほど。
はい
Hmm.
I mean, Summoner definitely looks better
Of course,
now.
right now we're just
Oh,
making
yeah, that's
adjustments to it, so it's not like this is a main job. Or
I'll probably pick
but
it up, you
you
know,
would
as
a
a
way
class
to
to play
go
for
about
fun
using
every
this
now and
gate
then,
is
but
to kind of leave it where
Sage, we're gonna be mainly
it's in
Sage.
front of like an enemy of sorts, and then you close the gap towards them, hit them, and then go back.
I'll be right back.
じゃあどうしようかな
Interesting. So they use the thing, hit an enemy, and then go back. That means you can do things like in the middle of bosses, like when they're doing other shits. You will be able to get the attacks in during like range phases and stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
ちょっとここから早いですよ融合した後
Yeah, it's using buttons now, so I guess he just needed to check which skills were where.
Yeah.
すごい。It's really fast.
Are you doubting our Lord and Savior Yoshi P,
融合
Jermaine?
すると
Jermaine went to AFK a second.
変わるので
うん。
結
You have to go
構
AFK in shame.
テクニカルですねで今までのようにそのなんだろう単体技でゲージを貯めてってよりはソウルスライスとか
I need to finish leveling Dancer, but
割とチャージアクション
honestly, at the
を使っ
start
て
of the
一気に
expansion, I'm just gonna be
貯めて
leveling healer classes because that's the class I'm gonna read with.
長めにこうソウルゲージを貯めてようやく呼び出してみたいな感じじゃなくて、
うんうんうん
どんどん切り替えていくことになるんでプレイ感今までとかなり違います
Yeah, you still
Everything else to come later.
But
Fire.
with the tempo,
And actually, after I'm done
of
leveling the healer
actions
classes, I'm gonna
that
stop
you
the
do,
leveling
it is quite fast.
a gatherer
So it is it
and
does
a
require a lot of,
crafter
like,
to try and get
technical
in
aspect of it.
the early game money.
And it's not necessarily like a single target all the time.
You know, to try and get in on that
It's like
early
a
money
soul slice,
by raiding.
and adding some different abilities in there. It's not like an endurance thing. Like you don't like build and build and build.
That's
and
probably
build
the
on
play,
each one
guys.
time, but it's
Like when you're
quite
done leveling like 2 or 3
fast.
classes,
So,
like swap
I
to
think the play style
get like
is
one
quite
at least
different
one
from
gatherer
what
and
we
one
had in previous,
crafter
with
up
it
there.
compared to any of the
Probably
existing
culinary,
jobs.
and you know, at least
なん
one
だろう一
so
通
you
り
could
と
like
全
make
部触ってます
money
けど
early.
テンポはすごい気持ちよくてね
うん
楽しかったっす
Hey,
That
Laura,
being said, looking at
What's
the
up?
different jobs,
you see that tower that was
this
on the
one
background when
included,
he's
the
facing
tempo does
inland?
feel really good,
Mhm,
so
yep.
I think it is.
I think that
quite
might be a
interesting.
tower like from the last dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, it looks similar to the towers that, what's it called? Yeah, for the,
And so I think
But they
what's
the more
the-
you
Got of people.
get your
yeah,
hands
they were
on it
like
and try it
mind
out, I
controlling
think
people
it's
and
something that you can,
using them for
yeah.
summons and stuff,
master
but
and try
what's his
to,
face? The bad guy?
try to make the most out of it because it is
That's
quite
how they got
fun.
Lunar Bahamut.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, those towers are all over the world. You know that.
Yeah, yeah.
ガス欠に
So I mean, that explains where we're going to this area, right?
いやいやいや
Probably to take care of that tower, probably.
だからまあもう、
Yeah,
まあ
I mean, even in the,
人気がきっと出るだろうなと思って
even in the
もう
what's
ちょ
it
っと
called,
優
the
しめに
benchmark,
したかったん
you
ですけど
see the dragon and like a
なん
bunch
だろ
of
う
players
いい
on
感じの難
mounts
しさになったから
flying towards
まあ
It's a spaceship in the background, isn't it?
面白いかなとは思うんで
Is that a ship? Look
Can't
right
you-
where the cage is at.
But of course, you have to be
I wonder what it
mindful
is, really
of,
cute.
A ship.
like resource
You can see the
management
tower,
and making
but
sure that
I don't
your
know what
gauges
that is.
are
That is-
up and,
yeah.
Like
you're,
inland or out in the ocean?
going through this properly.
right behind it.
Inland, like right now, if you look right now,
Yeah.
you
Of
see
course, with this being a new
Maybe.
job, it's actually
Of a
going
ship.
to be
that huge thing poking
expected
out.
to be very popular.
Yeah.
It looks like some sort of
And
crystal
so
at the end,
we're
so
thought
maybe it's
about
part of the
making it,
mountain.
A little bit less challenging,
It
so
could be
to
that
speak.
too.
Could be.
But I don't know.
I like my
it's,
theory
it's
better.
a good kind of
Yeah, I mean,
difficult.
how would we get to the
and
moon?
again, it's something
Spaceship.
that would be fun to kind of master.
I mean, we already
And
know there's
the
a
more
fucking
you delve
Star
deeper
Destroyer.
into it, the more you can, I feel like
Just
you can
yeet
get
yourself
after
into the moon.
まあベースのコンボには
I mean, didn't you see Rogue One?
はい。アバター
Crash that shit into the shield.
技みたいな時は方向指定が存在するものもあります。なんかそこはどっちかというと味付けです。はい。
Of course, the base combo doesn't require any sort of directionals, but once you start involving your avatar, there will be. So be careful of that. But I think it's just, it adds flavor to the different abilities that you're unleashing.
簡単じゃんって今度コメントがあるんだけど、さっき言ったように早く高速移動しながら、なんだろう。
I mean, it would be fun to get hands on Reaper just to see how it plays,
さっ
but
き使ったのどっちだっけとか出てくるんで。
probably only going to be available to the press as it is right now. I'm not famous enough.
And then we also have those people
They're
saying,
not
oh,
even
but
like
it's an
rushing
easy
it. They're like
jump
having like
in
casual
comments, which is
conversation.
not true. You are going to be moving around the
This is gonna
battlefield
take a
pretty
while.
quickly. And
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
also trying to
we
get
still
through
have
your
2 hours
rotations
left on
very
this
quickly.
thing,
So,
probably.
and you also have
least.
to remember, okay, so I've used this skill, so where does it connect to next? So it's not easy per se.
Entire chat is just spamming LB3.
LB3 を見せてくれるの。
So Sadie's probably gonna get an
そうなんですけ
explanation.
ど、残念なが
LB3.
らですね、僕今日今使ってるこのメディアツアーのワールド
Whose chat is spamming LB3?
ネックコマンドの
YouTube.
LB3 フリーが使えないんですよ。
He can't do LB1. So
I also see
dungeon.
comments saying that, oh, we want to see Limit Break 3, but I'm afraid this is in this world that we created for the
Which
media
is
tour.
pretty
We
cool.
don't have the debug command to unleash the LB3, or we don't have the debug command LB3 free. So sorry, I'm not able to show it to you.
ただですね、もうすでに公開しているベンチマークトレーラーの最後に、ゼノスが使ってるなんかすごいやつが、リーパーの LB3。
Apparently, Jesse Cox's big Final Fantasy videos coming out tomorrow morning.
But that being said, you may have seen
Maybe something to look
the
out for.
benchmark trailer.
He's got like an animator working on it and
When you
everything.
see Xenos at the end, and he does this
How am I going to
really
compete with that?
flashy move.
Spend money? Which you don't
That
have?
is
Wow.
the Reapers.
Take a loan.
I'm
な
going
の
to
で
take
あ
a
れをご
loan.
覧いただくと LB3 リーパーの LB3 がこういうやつかっていうのがわかります。はい。
So I think that would be a good reference if you want to see what the Reapers LB3 looks like.
はい。ではちょっとこれでまあリーパー終わりにしようと思うんですけど、
はい、
まあ2時間になるんで、
そうなんです。
3休憩と。
はい。なので、ここらで一旦ちょっと手短に10分ぐらい、10分休憩ぐらいを挟みたいなと。で、きっかけたら残りの遠隔。
はいはい。
After classes?
DPS とヒーラーに。
全然4時間どころじゃねえ
Give me
よ。
like on the beach.
数字で
Gonna represent your class out in the real world, huh?
40分ぐらい。
I'm gonna put them all on my chest and press it and change outfits.
We have actually clocked in about 2 hours
It's gonna be
now.
my quick bar for
and we
changing
haven't gone
classes.
through all the well, we've gotten
Change
through
the samurai, just pull out a
the
sword.
melee DPS, but I think we would like
Change
to
the
take a
machinist,
10-minute
pull the
break,
fucking
and then we'll
Glock
jump
out.
back into the remaining DPS. Yeah, we're on about a 40-minute delay at this point, so I think we
Change
want to
the
take a
Astro.
quick break.
Just pull out a deck of
です
cards.
ので、ここから10分間休憩取りたいと思います。予定外のマジ休憩なので、お供は特にございません。本当の休憩でございます。
Did they say they were 40 minutes over schedule?
10 minutes break.
Did they really?
Pure break, so we have no
I
video
think so.
to show during the break, this break. So, 10分後にお会いしましょう。じゃあ、let's see you again in 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, that's getting paused, so I'm gonna use this time to fucking use the bathroom and get something to drink. Can't miss out. But yeah, we'll be right back. I'm just gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back to watching the live letter. Hope you guys are enjoying, or I would call it commentary, but just also rambling about various things. I'll be back in a minute or so, or like a couple of minutes, a few minutes.
has been adjusted to 90 seconds.
Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, so jumping right into Bard.
Hey, I'm back.
どうぞ。まず既存3種類の戦火アクションから派生する、パーティーバフアクションを追加しております。
Yeah, what did they say about general stuff for ranged DPS?
Will make available a new action that applies a party-wide enhancement.
歌によるね支援を結構リクエストされる機会が多かったので、既存3つの戦火アクションから派生して効果内容がねこうさらに上昇していくみたいなパーティーバフを追加してます。
So of course, there has been a lot of feedback and requests for more like abilities that would allow for like support. And so we wanted to take the existing 3 songs that the Bard has in its kit and kind of add a sort of party buff and something that would enhance its effect.
Yeah, so Bards are getting more buffs. Yeah. On Apex Arrow.
And then a new action will be available upon execution of Apex Arrow.
旅信のメヌエットとかバトルボイスがリキャスト120秒合わせになるなど、細かく調整が行われています。
And then other adjustments include Wanderer's Minuet and Battle Voice recast timers have been adjusted to match 120 seconds, and other various adjustments have been made.
So the buffs are going to be 120 seconds. That means, or the ballads and stuff. That means they're getting I guess, they're getting nerfed by 40 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering if they'll like increase the length of them maybe, so you can have them going between each other if you're gonna have a gap. I guess we'll find out.
And then next up is I'm seeing comments that, well, machinist, there's really not much you can change with the machinist, but we'll talk about the machinist anyway.
一つ目、機械をモチーフにした新アクション、回転のこぎりが追加されてます。強そう。
So the first one, a new mechanically themed action called Chainsaw will be added.
Yeah, Chainsaw.
あとはですね、動画にもありましたオートマトンクイーンに新しい攻撃アクションが追加されています。
And then this was featured in the video as well, but a new action will be added for the automaton queen.
そうですね、他だと整備が、2チャージのアクションになってます。
And then in other changes, reassemble is now going to be chargeable up to 2 charges.
でこちらはですね、管理が必要なので。
I mean, machinists are essentially turning toward into that dude from the end of Dome and Castle.
Of course, with this ability being charged,
you know, the dude that Nearkirm's memeing about.
Charged up, so please make sure that you are kind of strategically placing it and allowing to build up as needed.
あとは本当主に新技追加で、少ないホットバーで快適にっていうところは、変わらない形にしてあります。
And then the rest of the adjustments are primarily just new actions being added. We have not changed the concept of trying to keep the number of abilities that are assigned to your hotbar and still play comfortably.
はい、貴公子も以上となっております。はい。
Yeah, so there's still gonna be the damage range, I guess. See what they do with Dancer, though.
Weapon skill で、付与される
Flourishing Cascade will now be shared across single target and AoE skills.
反対と範囲で共有化されるようになります。
So I guess that's to make the rotations easier between single and AoE.
他にはですね、どうぞ。まあ、この辺のテクニカルフィニッシュ、インプロとかですね、攻めの単語からさらに発生するアクションというのが今回追加されています。
Well, development and technical finish are the buffs, right, that you apply to your partner?
踊り子はバファーのね、要素が
So,
強い
I mean, let's see what skills. Let's hop over to Dancer and see what skills they have.
So of course with the dancer, it does allow for different buffs to be applied, or they allow for applying different buffs to your party members, and so we've kind of kept that direction with the update here.
まあ、単体とさっきお話したように、単体と範囲で面倒だったプロックの、管理を統一してあります。
And then, as mentioned earlier, the different pucks that are applied sometimes, and it was rather
Yes, I guess they
because you had to,
get combo actions off their party buffs essentially.
Target versus AOE, and some of the pucks that had to be managed between those was made, or is going to be made simpler.
でですね、快適性をね、今回向上させるために、まあ、単体アクションのみ、ダンスのステップアクションにこう切り替わってたんですけど、ダンスモードに入ると、今回範囲攻撃も同様に、ステップアクションに置き換わるようになっているので、ホットバーを切り替えね、範囲と、単体で分けてた人は範囲側でもそれができるようになるので、かなり楽になるんじゃないかなと。はい。
And so, because we tried to make things a bit more smoother in terms of like executing your different rotations. Previously, whenever you were doing a single target attack and your hotbar switched to the different step actions, and you'd have to switch over because AOE does not have that kind of simplicity. We actually updated it so that you don't have to worry about it with the AOE attacks. It's in a similar system where it'll switch into that sort of dance step action mode where the buttons will be replaced by the necessary next steps. So I think before, if you had sort of had to manage like separate hotbars for single targets versus AOE attacks, I think it makes
I was just wondering, you have been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
であとはですね、ダンスを成功させると付与されるエスプリっていうのがあるんですけど、まあ踊り子本人
There are you can either look it up on certain discords or Reddit usually posts the solutions.
And then, of course, there's a spirit, which is applied sometimes when a dance is successful, and it's applied.
Is it something you need crafted?
Sometimes it's applied to yourself at random, but we've changed it just for the dancer themselves. It's going to, a spirit is going to build, it'll be guaranteed to build.
大体踊り子そんな感じで。はい。
Okay, so that's it for dancer.
まあ、詩人が本人に影響がないってやつはね、まだギリまで調整してるんで、今はちょっと明言を避けさせてほしいです。はい。
People were talking about with the bard, doesn't seem to take any sort of effect on the self. I'm afraid we are still making adjustments still, so I can't confirm nor deny on that point.
Did it? Let me check.
コメントでごねればいけるかって書いてますけど、ごねってるの無理だと。
そういう問題じゃない。
僕ら別にそういうので調整してるわけじゃない。
I mean, the fashion report should go with the weekly reset, and that's still 75 hours.
I think it's a little too late for that. That's not what what we base our decisions on. I'm sorry.
違うんですよ。なんかコメントでね、詩人だけなんでって言われるんですけど、そこの軽く上げると全体を落とさなきゃいけなくなっちゃうので、別に全体バランスから知ってるんですよね。踊り子もね、本体軽くもっと低いわけで、はい、そこはバランスなのでそれをしてください。はい。
And I do see that people are commenting on, oh, why is it just barred? Why?
Yeah, I mean, fuck him if they're trying to drive the prices up. If it's something crafted, I can do it for you easily.
Damage that is being dealt, and we do need to look at it from a balance perspective. We also made adjustments to the dancer too, where some of the damage has been sort of adjusted as well. So please understand.
はい。では次いきますよ。
行きましょう。
はい。
Forward.
遠隔魔法 DPS ですね。こちら共通項はですね、シンプルにアドルのお話で、アドルにも、さっき牽制に、魔法ダメージ軽減の効果を少しつけますよと言ったのと、今度は逆でアドルには、物理ダメージの減少効果を少しだけ、入れることにしました。
So with magical ranged DPS, of course there is the major change would be to Addle. Kind of similar to what we've done with Feint, where it adds just a little bit of magic damage mitigation or reduction. With Addle, it'll allow for just a little bit, but some reduction of damage in physical attack.
Oh.
さあでは各ジョブの話に移っていこうと思います。はい。まず黒魔導士です。
So going into the individual jobs, first is the Black Mage.
まず一番でかい変更点がですね、エノキアンが特性に変わりました。アストラルファイヤーかアンブラルブリザード中が付与されれば自動的に、エノキアンも発動するようになってます。
So I think one of the most major changes is that Enochian will be a trait that is automatically applied while under the effect of astral
So this is just gonna help. Like as long as you don't fuck up your rotation, that's gonna have the buff applied at all times, I guess.
なんだろう、プレイヤーの間のこう火力差を結構生んじゃってたので、ここはそうすることにしました。はい。
And this was actually a very hard decision, or like it did require a lot of thinking, because while it was it was causing a disparity with the player's skill. So we decided that we were going to make the update.
で特定の状況で続くんですけど、アストラルファイヤーとアンブラルブリザードを切り替える、さらに特定の条件がある
Under certain conditions, swapping between astral fire and number ice would make new actions available.
発動できる、すごい魔法が、炎と氷が合わさって最強に見えそうな魔法が追加されてます。
Yeah, so you swap between them in a certain way and you get like a in-between action, I guess?
Astral fire and umbral ice will make new actions available, one of which is a fairly cool looking, it looks like a combination of fire and ice kind of a spell.
I think the combination of fire and ice is water.
サムライ同様にピュア DPS として戦闘進化してます。蘇生も持ってません。
Unless they're going with like the burning ice path or something, I don't know.
Mage, of course, kind of like the samurai, we wanted to kind of evolve it as a pure DPS. Of course, no raise capabilities.
でやっぱりさっきお話したようにね、初心者の方にも火力格差がちょっとね広がりやすかったので、エノキアンを特性化してます。
And of course, going back to Enochian, it was quite hard to grasp for certain players, especially those who are unfamiliar with the different the Black Mage actions, and it did cause a disparity between the damage dealt. So we have decided to change Enochian to be a trait.
他にはですね、ファイガプロックとかサンダープロックの継続時間、プロックの継続している時間ですね、を伸ばしてあるので、ちょっと折り返しでやらなきゃいけないこと今回増えてるので、その分サンダープロックの継続時間を伸ばしたりしてます。結構この辺小手先が必要になってるので、お試しください。
And then the proc that is applied whenever for Fire 3 or I'm sorry, Fire 4? Faiga is Fire 4, sorry. And Thunder. And the proc that is applied whenever those are in effect has been extended because it helps with the rotations, and there are more things that you need to be doing in your different like skill sets and going back and forth, and some of the repeated steps that need to be done has
Okay, like that, Meeban.
So I think it helps with if these procs are on a bit longer, so that there's room to kind of make use of that.
あとはですね、ファイラとブリザラどうなったんだろうっていうコメント見ましたけど、ファイラとブリザラはですね、上位の魔法が登場してですね、範囲焼きのローテーションが変わります。はい。
And then Fire 2.
Yeah, it should just be the bridesmaid sandals. You just need to dye the pants and the shirts. You don't need a specific item.
Like a one step higher to that, so that your
So you don't need to get plain long skirt. You just need to dye your current leg piece to brown or whatever that is. Yeah, rusted brown. Yeah. So what are those? Are those expensive as well?
日本語名だとね、英語とかはね、4、5とかなんですけど、日本語だとね、どうするんだろう。これ実はですね、FF 委員会で議論をしました。どうしよう。
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could craft.
With the Japanese names, and you may be familiar.
Yeah,
with
10,000 is nothing.
Like
I mean, if it was like 100,000, maybe we could have looked into crafting them instead.
And then we have different tiers and different suffixes that we put in the Japanese language. And once you get to a certain point, you have to start making up some of these suffixes. And we had to bring it up to the Final Fantasy brand committee and make sure that they're kosher with it. And we had to like debate about this.
だって魔法の系統を増やすってだって FF の歴史上結構重要なわけですよ。で、結果、現委員長の北さんが、そこまで行くの14ぐらいだから、もう武者さんは思い切って作っていいよって言われて、マジか。
Did you buy them already, Jermaine?
The franchise is very.
Yeah, because otherwise I think you could buy them for 6k from a vendor.
Additional tiers to these magic spells is actually a big deal because it's kind of breaking.
I mean, it's not like it's a lot of guild or anything, but just someone is profiting of it.
Say, well, the only people who go a higher tier beyond what was already established is 14. So, Mr. Yoshida, I will trust it. I will trust your judgment to come up with a nice suffix.
そう言われた私、日和りまして。
そうでしょ。
日和りまして。今回ファイラの上位はハイファイラ。
わー、ひよったー。
But that made me.
I mean, it's not that expensive. I mean, Linen Smock is literally nothing. The Asura Hakama of XXX, I don't know, would probably be the only annoying item.
まあいずれ数字なんで、まあどっかで踏んでなきゃいけないですけど、今回じゃなくていいやと思って、ちょっと読みました。
And I mean, one of these days, yes, we will eventually have to expand further out in our tiers, and we will have to come up with a nice sort of suffix to add on there. But this time, I think I want to.
Yes, and Fury Shields or thingies. So that's from hunts from Heavensward, I want to say. That I want. Yeah, because you see, you can buy it for Centurio. What's it called? Centurio Seals. Yeah, that's the hunt, like the hunt combination from Heavensward, I believe, or hunt currency. What's the word I was looking for?
To be fair, like if we add, like say a gyo suffix and like it's by gyo, anything that's like a tier 4 or tier 5 magic is going to be like cure gyo, you know?
そうなんですよ。まあなんで今回はちょっと、私いろいろ考えまして、なるほど。そこに無駄に落としておきました。
So after much thought, we have decided to settle on that.
あとはまあ
So they're just debating on what to call the fifth iteration of fire, I guess.
チャージアクションになって、で30秒でチャージするんで、これも結構腕に差が出てくるかな、使いどころって感じです。はい。
And I'm sorry, there's another charge action for Black Mage that has been added. Another charge has been added to that stack.
ゴレンマは一応言ってみたんだけど、却下されました。
And then there was comments about, well, what about an additional like a multiple casts, like a five consecutive casts, and I proposed the idea, but it was rejected.
まあでも黒はタイムラインに合わせていく面白さが一番面白いところだと思っているので、そこはそのまま残した感じです。一緒に苦労していきましょう。
But with sorry, going back to what Yoshida-san said about Gekisima, that's Sharpcast. Sorry, Sharpcast has an additional charge now with the update. But in any case, with Black Mage, it is trying to match your different spells according to the timeline of the battle. So that challenge still remains, and I think it still sort of lives up to that.
さあ、では続いてのジョブ、赤間同士に行こうかなと思います。
Yeah, I mean, they kind of had to, I think.
Is the Red Mage.
I mean, I assume it's similar to Summoner, right? Like, either you just go to the point of you just keep adding more stuff on top of it, like Fire 5, Fire 6, or so on, or you try to do something new, right? And I mean, if you just keep adding on to classes, that's just gonna make them stale eventually, right?
あとですね、次のバルフレア、バルフォーリー、スコーチを範囲攻撃に変更してあります。
Execution of Scourge.
からも発動できるという感じになっています。はい。
What does this mean, Ben? You're playing Red Mage, right?
Holy and Scorch will be changed to AoEs, available as part of AoE rotations.
で、あとはですね、ちょっと防御バフの結構パーティー用のですね、はい、結構強いなと思ったんですけど、これが入って割とね、サポート側によりイメージがシフトしてる感じです。
And then the third point is a defensive party-wide enhancement will be added, which I think is pretty powerful. So you can also help out in a support sort of way.
その名もバマジク。バマジク。バマジク。ほう。のが追加されます。
今英語名調査中です。
まあ、
So
もう出てるかな、大丈夫。じゃない。バでバマジク。ごめんね。そのある。
Yeah, so enhanced redoublement that you gotta use to use Sphere Flare and stuff. It's the end of your melee, like rotation, right?
Oops. We were expecting something like Burr Magic or something like
Yeah. Yes, fair enough. So I'm assuming instead of needing to use enhanced redoublement, maybe you can just use the AoE rotation you get instead and get access to Sphere Flare and similar things.
魔法剣各種、ブラックマナ、ホワイトマナの消費量が減ってます今回。
So with the Red Mage,
No, I mean, you have a melee AoE rotation, don't you?
Updates that have been made. Of course, we have.
Oh, it's just Milnet. I thought it was something else.
We have also.
But yeah, maybe they'll add something there then, like another like AoE rotation, and then make those AoE as well.
Magic Sword.
Guess we'll
the
see.
Black mana and the white mana depletion amount has been reduced.
で、マナフィケーションを使ったら、もうそのマナフィケーション1回分で、フルコンボまでいけるようになってるので、開幕のバーストはかなり早くなりました。はい。
And then with manification, you are able to do like one combo.
Do you have all of your slots equipped?
The burst that you can have at the start of a battle definitely is quicker.
ただまあそのままだと魔法剣の回数が上がりすぎて、まあ、それはそれでキャスターっぽくなくなっちゃうので、各、魔法を使った時のホワイトマナとブラックマナの増加量っていうのを下げる。
Yeah, you need all of your slots filled and have those slots the correct ones.
But that being said, if it's done as is, of course, the spell blade frequency becomes.
I mean, did they say that manification is straight up like fills your bars instead of doubling?
We adjusted the white mana and the black mana, like the increase of those
Alright.
different manas.
So I mean, do you use that as a start instead then? To get into your rotation quicker?
まあもちろんない。ただマナフィケーション使うと一気に増えるし、まあ溢れさせることもないと思うので、こんな感じです。はい。
So, hopefully this doesn't make it so that the spell blade frequency goes like way too much. But still with the manification, we do have the mana kind of filling up, and you should hopefully not waste the mana that is accumulated.
でですね、ステージによってまあ使いづらいというのと、まあ、フィードバックも多数あったので、ようやくかって言われるとは思ってるんですけど、プラスマンとアンガジマンの威力が同じになったので、移動に必要かそうじゃないかで使い分けてください。なるほど。はい。
And then, of course, there was quite a lot of feedback about this and mention about how it's difficult to use at times. So the placement as well as engagement. The potency of these two will become the same.
他にはエンボルデンのリキャは、120秒で、マナフィケーション110秒っていう感じ。まあそこはエンボルデン書いてないですね。はい。
Defensive party-wise enchantment will be added. Whatever that means.
Seconds, and then manification is 110. So emboldened should not have been changed.
コメントでね、デプラス芸人はじゃあどうしたらいいんだよって、そんなのあれですよ、アンガジェマンのアクション入れなきゃ。
See NPC vendor 216 guild. That should be. Are you where at?
Complaining about like what the placement.
Yeah, if you go along the line of merchants, it should be a die vendor or something, I believe it's called.
And choosing the proper one. Well, if you are particular about the placement, just use the placement then.
はい。赤魔導士こんな感じでいます。
So that covers the red mage.
さあ、そして、ほぼ新ジョブになった召喚士。
Let's see, I'm coming over right now. I'm pretty sure there should be a die vendor.
I think it's changed to basically a new job, and that is our summoner.
もうほぼ新ジョブだとすいません思っていただければと思います。
But again, yeah, if you could look at this from a completely new perspective, it's changed quite a lot. So I think you can consider this a new job almost.
まずはというわけでジョブのメカニクスを大幅にリニューアルしております。
Of course. So that being said, significant changes to job mechanics has been made.
さらにですね、ドットが全部なくなりました。
And then all actions applying damage over time will be removed.
新生14以降ですね。
Well, I mean, I guess the original thing was to, since summoners, no, it's not even a hot healer, it's a shield healer, so it doesn't make sense. What's this dude, by the way, Jermaine, over here?
It's not a summoner, it's just a dot.
Independent merchant.
And so we've removed it.
Here you can buy a bunch of, like, the basic dice.
そしてですね、エギではない。
Yeah, sorry, I just knew there was a merchant, I just forgot what it was called.
Next is able to summon Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan, and not just Eggies.
ただこれですね、イフリートルビー、タイタントパーズ、ガルーダエメラルドと言ってですね、もう万神読んじゃいけないからね、そんな気軽にね。
なるほど。
の場合ね。なんでまあそこにその力を移して。
I mean, it looked like they were like big abilities that you used the summons, right? Like they appeared for one attack.
Ruby, Titan, Topaz, and Garuda Emerald. So we are not literally calling forth these primals, of course, because it's too dangerous in the world of 14 to be summoning primals. So the concept is we are sort of transferring their energy, so to speak, into these different sort of jewels, so to speak, and sort of calling those forth.
で、その
lore stuff. Hell yeah.
を呼ぶと本人召喚師本人にエーテル属性が付与されるので、その力で召喚師自体のモードが変わるようなイメージになってます。
なるほど。
By summoning these different sort of summons, the summoner, him or herself, will gain the sort of elemental ether and sort of switch into different modes.
で、ですね。
Elemental ether.
まずやっぱり召喚師っていうイメージに沿うように今回本当に大幅に、変更させていただきました。
So they're gonna add in
So with
like
this update,
multiple
we really
magical
tried
types
to
and
bring out that sort of feel of a traditional summoner.
yeah, but I mean, why would they mention it unless it has a gameplay effect of
デ
like
ミバハムートを召喚すると、まあ今まではデミバハムート召喚、フェニックス召喚、なんかこうダウンタイム、なんかもうひたすらルイ打つしかねえみたいな、ウィンジャーみたいな状態だったのが、大きく変わります。
So in terms of the rotation or the flow of the summoner, of course, up until now, you would have called forth the Demi Bahamut, and then it goes away, and then you call forth the Phoenix, and then you have some downtime where you're just casting Ruin or Ruin 3, or like just doing that until you've accumulated enough to summon them again.
で、デミバハムートをまず呼ぶと、属性エーテルを3つもらうので、その力を属性エーテルを使ってさっき言ったイフリート、ルビー、タイタントパス、ガルーダ、エメラルドを召喚してその属性の力でまず戦います。
And so with this updated flow, of course, you will call forth the Demi Bahamut, and then
hell
you will,
yeah, almost at the car.
Obtain this elemental property, so to speak, and then you will be able to summon Ifrit Ruby, Titan Topaz, Garuda Emerald, and then you would fight using the elemental properties of those different summons.
で、その後フェニックスを召喚すると、フェニックスからもまたエーテルを3つもらえるんで、また3種を使ってというのが一連の流れになります。
And once you've depleted those 3, and then you would call forth the Phoenix, then you would receive again 3 elemental properties, and then you are able to summon these 3. I don't want to call them primals, but they're the summons that you can utilize those 3 elemental properties again.
で、イフリート、タイタン、ガルーダってどの順番で呼んでもいいです。で、それぞれ召喚
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll be fun to play Summoner with these changes.
先にこれはタイタンから行こうとか、今回はイフリートにしよう。
Because I mean, I have Summoner level, but only because I got it with Lovely Scholar.
Of course, we have these 3, Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda, but there's no specific order that you need to call them forth. So depending on the battle timeline, you can choose, let's say you want to do Titan first, you can do that. Or yeah, you can quickly, or you can be flexible between those 3.
で、
So I mean, is it 3 flavors of the same spell then, or because otherwise people are gonna find the best rotation to use them?
And then also part of the adjustment was to kind of consolidate some of these actions, and so the icons that are being used.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely simplifying things. I mean, they did that a huge amount with Shadowbringers.
Will switch out depending on the different actions that you're taking.
でめちゃくちゃ悩んだ末に、リザレクアドを押しました。
And then so after a lot of debate and a lot of discussion, we did decide that we will keep Resurrection.
押しましたよ。はい。なんかめっちゃ変わったんで、めっちゃ変わったのになくなんのかよって言われると申し訳ないなと思ったんで、今回は首の皮一枚で取りました。はい。
And with this significant change to Summoner, and people are being, I don't know if people would be shocked with the changes, but like on top of that, having Resurrection being removed, people might really get upset. So it lived by the skin of its teeth. Resurrection is still there.
フィジクさんも残っちゃいました。
Physic too. It's kind of stayed behind too.
はい。さあじゃあもうわからんというお声が多いので実況いこうかなと思います。
And I'm sure people are wondering, well, I don't understand with all these words. So let's look at it on the gameplay screen.
よろしいですか？どうぞ。はい、お願いします。はい、召喚師です。サムラ、yeah.
でここでまず先に
it looks like they got another unicorn horn for their foreheads.
はい。
And before we dive into actual gameplay, I would like to talk about Eggy Glamours actually.
ですね、今回呼べる召喚獣が増えるということで、すべての召喚獣に対してまずサイズの変更ができるようになってます。
And so with the number of summons you can call for, we have made some adjustments, one of which is to change its display size.
ただこれあくまで自分から見た時のなので、術者というよりは周りの人がやらなきゃいけないので、それは変わってません。
But that only affects you as the person like calling forth these summons. So
all right, talk to you later.
It only affects how you are able to view these.
で、今実はここにカーバンクル出てるんですけど、召喚師自身のレベルが上がっていくと、ここがイフリートエギになったりするんですけど、僕はカーバンクルの方が可愛くて好きなので、これエギミラプリしてあります、カーバンクル。
あ、なるほど。
はい。
So of course, with the
and
right now you see the carbuncle appearing on the screen, but you may be familiar as the player character goes up. There's Eggy.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like it could be a cliff
right now,
with like crystals on it, or it could be a spaceship. It's hard to say.
I've glamored it to a carbuncle.
まあでもそんなもんですかね。まあ呼びますよね。はい。半分とでも半分。
I mean, you're getting fucking death rays from the sky.
でここに3つわかります？この鎖に繋がってますけど、はい、解放されました。でこうなるとこの3つの安心が呼べるようになります。どれからでもいいです。
And then, of course, with that, you get the elemental properties. I think you can see it under the gaze. There's like 3 jewels kind of chained up, and now those have been unlocked. And so that shows that you are able to summon Ifrit, Titan, or Garuda.
で呼び出すとエーテルが付与されてカウントダウンが始まります。で2スタックのアクションが付与されているので、イフリートの技を使います。なるほどね。
So once you call forth these elemental primals, you do get that sort of ether applied to you, and then you see that there's a 2-stack action, and so you are able to execute Ifrit's actions.
これ、今のはイフリートのエーテルをもらったので、詠唱時間が長い代わりに強力な炎の魔法が2発使える。
I mean, he ran up to the target, so I wonder if Ifrit is like melee based or something, so that's what's gonna differentiate them, like the range you can use them from.
And so we were looking at Ifrit's actions, but with the elemental properties or
Because I mean, if that's the case, it's definitely gonna be optimized to like the boss fight you're currently doing.
Is long. It is a very powerful fire-based spell that you can cast, and then there's also like a rush sort of attack that you can do, and this is the Ifrit actions that is available.
でここはやっぱり詠唱が必要なアクションになってるので、ギミック処理をしなきゃいけないタイミングでイフリートを呼んでしまうとロスになるので、他のものにしましょう。動かなくていい時にイフリートを使うようにしようとか、そのあたりはうまく考えていただければいい。
The gold saucer.
This kind of ties into what we mentioned about timelines, but with Ifrit's action, one of this requires for you to cast, and it's a fairly long cast time. So say you're in some kind of fight where there's a mechanic where you have to move, then you would lose the opportunity to cast the magic. So
yeah, probably RPing.
Perhaps you'd want to time it so that you don't need to move around to process some kind of mechanic, or you'd have to be pretty mindful of when you activate these.
で実際に召喚をした瞬間インスタントで召喚するんですけど、登場した時に利口技を一回バーンってぶっ放してはくれます。
And then, of course, when you are calling forth these summons, it's an instant, but there is usually like a starter move that it unleashes when it's first summoned.
で、タイタンを呼びます。
Okay, so now we're calling forth Titan.
Like a little cute baby Titan.
I set his size to be small, so.
で、今タイタン。使えるようになったんで、こっちは。
So I mean, is that just an aesthetic thing, or?
Smashing from two sides.
で、これは回数じゃなくて時間なので、ひたすら打ちまくる。で、これはもう全部インスタントなんで、移動がすごい楽です。
And with Titan's moves, it's actually interesting because it's within a timed section that you can unleash unlimited numbers of times of his moves, and it's all instant. So you can move around and cast at the same time.
Yeah.
で、ガルーダを呼ぶと。設置型の。
I mean, it could be fun to know.
これはもうインスタントキャストなんで、これも移動かなり。機動力がだから高いです、相変わらず瞬間は。
But with Garuda, hers is more of like a placement damage, and this is also instant, and so you can move around.
I mean, it looks cool, but in the end, I still enjoy playing tank the most, so that's what I'm gonna keep playing.
で、フェニックスを召喚するとまた3つ付与されるので、フェニックスが終わったらまた使っていく感じになります。
And then once you've gone through that round, and then you call forth the Phoenix, you will obtain the 3 elemental properties again, and so you can utilize these elemental primals again.
ちなみにこの3つの、
Just relaxing on a bench here.
モードは、やっぱりそのタイムライン内で3つともそうは言っても使わないと軽く出ないので、なんかもうとりあえずタイタンだけ使ってきゃいいやみたいなのやると目も当てられないことになるので。で、デミバハムート召喚と、フェニックス召喚の間にやっぱちゃんと使い切らないともったいないことになっちゃうでしょ、リキャストタイムが。なのでそこは必ず組み立てが必要になってくるので。なるほど。はい。
With these 3 summons that you can do, of course, you need to utilize these in the battle timeline, or else, of course, you won't be dealing very much damage at all. Like, you can't just lean towards, oh, I like using Titan only, so I'll use Titan only, or you will not be able to deal much damage at all. So whenever you do cast your Demi Bahamut and the Phoenix and the elemental properties that you attain in between those is something that you don't want to put to waste. Make sure that you are utilizing these and sort of building your strategy so that you can utilize those three within the recast.
はい。大体そんな感じでございます。かなり試行錯誤して作ったので、いいところにね、落ちたのではないかなとは思っておりますが、当然そのドットがなくなった分はね、通常の栄唱火力へ全部持ってってるんで、まあちょっと機動力高いかなって思ったんですけど、
I mean, guess that's not strange seeing what time it is.
もともとそこはちょっとやっぱりもともとね召喚が好きで使ってくれてた人ってたくさんいると思うんで、ここまで変えちゃうのはなとか、考えつつ、
True.
ね、また結構栄唱増えるとさ、吉田黒の巻き添えにしやがってって言われたくもあんまないしね。
But yeah, with the summoner, there was a lot of trial and error and a lot of debates to get it to where we got it. But I think
your vacation is over now.
It's a good point. Of course, with the removal of all the dots, we did try to skew back to having the summoner have their damage kind of come from the different casting of the not the spells, but like the different summons that you're bringing forth. So, and we also looked at just how mobile the summoner is, but at the same time, it is the charm of a summoner is the mobility of it. So I think we were
fine, I'll go do it as well, rather than just sitting around.
Choosing the summoner because of such mobility. So that was another point where we had to rack our brains. But we didn't want to make it so that we're casting all the time either. I can already imagine the comments from players saying, "Oh my gosh, you're turning us into the mod page. Like you're kind of dragging us into this, Yoshida." So I wanted to avoid that as well.
さあでは、以上でキャスターでした。
はい、ありがとうございます。
では最後ヒーラーロールのお話いきましょう。
Time for healers. Let's go.
The healers.
まずヒーラー共通項なんですけど、各ヒーラーに新しい単体バフの付与アクションを追加しております。
Single target buffs.
So the first thing is new actions that apply single target buffs will be added to each healer, and emphasis on single target buffs.
でそれからですね、全体的にヒーラーの攻撃魔法の詠唱時間が短くなっております。
Cast time for offensive spells will be reduced. Well, hello, White Mage again.
Reduce the cast time for offensive spells.
そしてですね、全ヒ
Gotta
ー
be
ラ
spam that player.
リミットブレイクの効果範囲がですね、50メートルに拡大されました。
And then limit break area of effect will be expanded to 50 yalms. And I hear Foxclaw clapping.
届いてねみたいな、ナイス LB 届いてねみたいなやつがなくなるんじゃないかな。
あれは悲しい。
We will finally avoid situations where people are like, "Oh yeah, great LB, but I was not in the area of effect."
で、まあ今回その以前から。
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what they mean with single target buffs, because that sounds what Astra is doing currently.
バリアヒーラーに、バリアヒーラーにという、バランスになります。
But also with the healers welcoming the new Sage job, we will be splitting it up with 2 jobs being a pure healer and then 2 jobs being barrier healers.
Glare, spam.
基本攻撃魔法の詠唱時間は軒並み 1.5 秒に。
Don't know, I can check when I get out of this jumping thing.
And then for the offensive spells, like the primary offensive spells, they're in general going to be a 1.5 second cast time, which is pretty quick.
まあアビリティがねかなり増えてきて、アビリティを使う機会が多いので、まあグローバルクールダウンにどうしても食い込んじゃってすごい気持ち悪いストレスっていうところがあったと思うので、そこを軽減するために詠唱時間を短くしてあります。
with needing to execute abilities, it tended to, or like casting tended to sort of eat into the global cooldown time, and I'm sure people were very frustrated, or would have been very frustrated with it. So we're hoping that by sort of reducing the cast time for basic attack spells to 1.5 seconds, that would reduce the frustration and stress.
それでは白魔導士からいきましょう。
Jumping right into White Mage.
Let's see, where are the silver ones?
白魔導士はですね、もう正当進化オブ正当進化以外の何者でもございません。効果も見た目も特徴的な、リリーを設置するという設置型の回復アクション、これ非常に便利で強力です。
Functionally and visually distinct restorative field action will be
With
added.
White Mage, this is just a simple update, as simple can be. Let's see, it reads a functionally and visually distinct restorative field action will be added.
ピュアヒーラーに該当します。はい。
And of course, White Mage will fall under that pure healer category.
More like pure damage dealer, am I right?
氷蛇だったかなが入るんで、そいつでもリリーが咲くっていう。
なるほど。
I suck at jumping puzzles today, apparently.
And then a higher tier for the holy spell will be added, and so that will also contribute to the accumulation of lilies.
Oh god, are they gonna get the super holy?
お知らせなんですけど、アクアオーラさんがついに解雇されてしまいました。
あらあら。
And then one unfortunate news with the White Mage is that Fluid Aura has been relieved of its duties.
Oh no, that spell no one ever uses.
ディバインベニゾンがチャージアクションになってますね。はい。
Then another update would be Divine Benison will become a charge action.
白魔導士に関してはもう本当に今までの操作感のまますんなり扱えるアップデートになってると思います。
But yeah, with the White Mage, it's pretty straightforward. I think the controls will feel as it was, and it'll be a fairly smooth transition with these updates.
はい。はい。では先へ進みます。続いては先生術師です。
Moving on to Astrologian.
先生術師はピュアヒーラーに寄せることになりました。
So with the Astrologian, we are going to skew it more towards a pure healer.
ダイアナルセクトとノクターナルセクトを削除して基本的な回復アクションの性能をダイアナルセクトの時の効果に、変更してます。
So the diurnal sect and nocturnal sect will be removed, and basic healing actions will be adjusted to have the same effects as they would have while under diurnal sect.
ただこれ、ニュートラルセクトってアクションあるんですけど、そのニュートラルセクトの効果中のみバリアアクションが使えたりっていうことが先生術師の特徴として、あったりします。
But that being said, there is going to be an action called neutral sect, which while you are under its effects, there will be some barrier actions that you can use.
で、あとはディビネーションの効果を変更してます。
And then we've adjusted the effects of divination.
ディビネーションによる範囲よだめ上昇バフが、カードの引き運にすげえ左右されるっていうのが、ストレスだったので、このあたり条件を見直しています。
The effects of it was really affected by the luck of the draw, so to speak. So it has been adjusted.
通常で使えるようになるって感じです。はい。
I mean, divination wasn't really luck of the draw, right? Because you could essentially force some cards to appear.
Normal circumstances.
で、その代わり、カードシンボルに依存する効果を持つセルフバフが付与されるようになるって感じです。はい。
So while you can use it at any time, what will change is that depending on the seals used, it allows for enhancements to be applied to yourself.
で、リドローはですね、チャージアクションじゃなくて、ドローするたびに1回使えるっていうアビリティになり、あとはマイナーアルカナにも変更が入っています。
And then redraw will become will no longer be a charge action, but it will be changed into an action where every time you draw, you can use it once. And then there will also be a change to minor arcana.
あとは動画にもありましたけど、回復と攻撃を結構兼ね備えた、範囲魔法が、追加されてます。
And then the other update would be, you may have seen it in the video, but there will be an AoE spell that
The golden one
has a healing capabilities as well as an offensive element to it.
まあやっぱりちょっと
the golden one is like on the left side part of the thing.
ホーリーが強すぎだろうっていうところが結構言われていたので、今回他のヒーラーにも範囲のID 攻略しやすい、ちょっとそれぞれが特徴違うんですけど、範囲を持たせてます。
And this is kind of based on some input that we've noticed whenever people go into instanced dungeon, holy that the white mage can use is quite strong, and so we wanted to allow for other healer jobs to have something similar. Of course, not their characteristics differ from each of the different jobs, but we did want to have some kind of AoE spell.
まあこう議論したんですよ、ここは。本当に全員にもういっそスター
I mean, all of the healers have an AoE, right? It's just that Holy's fucking OP with the damage and the stun.
でもなんか特徴どんどん削れていくのも違うと思うんですよね。なんか全員スタンつけるもなんかもう大雑把すぎるし。なのでそれぞれになんとか特徴を持たせて、なるほどね、こういうニュアンスねとか結構苦労したんですけど、それぞれ特徴が違います。はい。
This was really quite a point of debate, actually. Like, do we want to add stun to this, or do we want to remove the stun effect from Holy, but we don't want to like kill individuality either. But if we add stun to all of them, then it just seems to be very sloppy. So we wanted to make sure that each job had its own sort of characteristic or like a signature difference between them. So we're hoping that when players get to try it out, they would understand, oh yeah, this is the kind of nuance that you're going for.
はい、じゃあ続いていきましょう。はい、続いては学者になります。はい。
Next up is the scholar.
学者はですね、ここからバリアヒーラーになりますが、学者は改めてバリアヒーラーとして、調整されてます。
Of course, we're moving into the barrier healers now, but with the scholar, we have sort of made adjustments so that they are leaning more towards that sort of barrier type healer.
まあ学者もですね、なんかこう大幅に変えるところがあるかと言われると、まあ多少ねペットの挙動をまた調整したりはしましたけど、まあ学者で今回一番でかいのはどうぞ。戦闘時にも効果あるパーティー移動速度上昇っていうバフが渡されます。
Okay. Interesting, but
with the scholar, there wasn't really much we could have changed like significantly. I mean, we did make adjustments. And part of it was.
I mean, I guess that's gonna allow for movement phases of fights to be slightly easier, and you could pull out later, I guess, with the movement speed.
A unique job action which can enhance the party's movement speed even during combat.
いや当然永続じゃないんだよ。ちょっと待って、永続だともう学者必須になるやんそれ。
The buff is not continuous perpetually. If it's perpetual, then people are going to be like, no, must have scholar all the time.
そんなわけないじゃない。
I mean, it's definitely gonna make speedruns and dungeons quicker.
あれそこからアップしてるってこと言いたかったんです。
But you may have noticed in the video, like the scholar was running just a little faster towards the end of that job action, and that's to signify that enhancement has been applied.
まあいわゆるスプリントと同じ速度が一定時間使える。でスプリントとは10%。
I mean, it doesn't seem like Scholar will be any different other than movement speed.
Your movement speed is faster for a certain amount of time, but it will not overlap with sprint.
で他だとですね、パーティーメンバー1人を対象とした結構ね強力なバフが追加されてます。
And then another update would be there will be a fairly powerful enhancement that can be targeted to a single party member.
でちなみに今お話ししたその移動速度上昇が付与されるのはどっちかというとサブ効果で範囲軽減のアビリティなんですね。それは学者に。でさらに移動速度が一定時間上がります。
なるほど。
And that new action that we mentioned earlier about quickening the movement speed of your party is actually like a fringe benefit of the action itself. It's actually meant to be like a damage reduction buff.
Alright, talk to you later.
That applies to like a range, an area of range.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit up here and watch the remaining things, but yeah, you guys look cool. And maybe we can do some stuff with everyone tomorrow.
But of course, it doesn't overlap with sprint. So.
はい、召喚もすいません。これぐらいしかお伝えすることがございません。
Sorry, that's about all.
Yeah, so time for some solo commentary, I guess.
That's significant for the scholar.
さあ、それでは、残る一ジョブ、こちらに参りましょう。
It's definitely going to be exciting to see what they're doing with Sage.
Have our Sage.
はい。でこちら、バリアヒーラーとして、必要な能力は一通り所持しております。
So the Sage possesses all the actions essential for a barrier healer.
ちょっと変わってるのがですね、敵を攻撃すると同時に指定しているパーティーメンバーを回復するっていう特徴があります。
And what's really unique about the Sage is that while you are attacking an enemy, you can specify or target a party member to heal at the same time.
So I wonder what that this means is that you assign like your little drone thingies to party members, and then when you use skills, it heals those party members maybe. So you can like have the boss targeted and do damage, and then heal your friendlies. It's time kind of like a focus target or a similar thing.
As well as attack magic, as you can see in the job HUD example here.
これがですね、じゃあちょっと味方一人をまず指定して、メインでヒールする対象を選ぶ、でかつ敵を攻撃するとまあ対象にヒールも走るよっていう特徴があります。まず
So again, to reiterate, you would designate a party member to sort of heal, and then as you attack your enemy, then whomever you designated will receive healing.
Yes, I guess it's like a focus target or a similar thing. Except that it's not a sole target, it just happens to do stuff upon that target when you do like damage abilities to the boss.
So this is called Cardia. Oh, I'm sorry, Cardia, and then you would typically, I think it would work well if you specify like your main tank, off tank, as your sort of designated person to heal.
特定のアクションを使うと一つのアクションが、単に攻撃魔法だったのが、ドッ ト付与に切り替わったりっていうちょっと変わった動作をするものもあります。
And then there's another unique characteristic where sometimes an action that you execute might be like when you're hitting somebody, an enemy, it turns into a dot also, like a damage over time.
で時間経過で付与されるアダーガルっていうリソースを消費してインスタントバリアヒールも豊富にございます。
And then there is a resource that the sage uses, which is the Adder's Gall, that kind of accumulates over time so that you can execute your instant barrier heals.
あとはイカロスっていう動画でも飛んでた移動アクションがあるんで、テクニカルバリアヒーラー。
And then in terms of like a gap closer or like a movement type action, we have Icarus. You may have noticed in the video that the sage is kind of flying. So it's kind of positioned as a technical barrier healer.
これね、ちょっと実機でも説明難しいんだけど、一応出してみる？一応出してみるか。
So explaining this like even on the gameplay screen might be a bit complex, but I guess we should try it. Try to see it on the game screen.
Yes, please.
はい、
画面お願いします。おい。
こんな感じですね。
おお。賢者です。セイジ。
ここだけ見ると。
Yeah, it's a cool looking outfit with like little drones around as well.
Looking at this image, it,
Definitely a cool weapon.
Really distinguish like, wait, what kind of name is this again?
このキングの収まり方結構こだわりましたね。
確かに。
We were very particular about how these nulas are sheathed.
結構多いですよ、アクション。
Yeah, I mean, aesthetically, it looks like a cool class.
で、まずこのカルディアっていうアクション、特徴的なんですけど、これを使ってまず誰を主に回復するかっていう、パートナーっていう言い方だとちょっと語弊があるのかもしれないですけど、指定をしていく必要がある感じです。
So going back to Cardia, this is quite unique, and so you'll be designating whom you want to heal. It might not be fully accurate to call a partner, but I mean you're pointing out you're designating somebody you will be healing.
はい。今自分に貼りました。
はい。
So it's now set to me.
で、ちょっと攻撃をしますね。
We'll try attacking.
攻撃と同時にヒールが走ってます。
すごい SF 感がすごいです。
So as you are attacking, because I designated myself, as I land an attack, the heal kicks in to heal me.
サウンドスタッフ的にどうですか？ SE っていうあらやだ SE っていうコメントが非常に出てます。
A lot of people commenting on the sound effect. How does it sound to you? Does it sound sci-fi enough for you?
初めて俺も聞いた時結構衝撃だったんだ。
I mean, it looks like a real fun healer to
It was quite surprising
do damage
when
while
I heard it when
like
I was
healing
doing the
someone.
attacks.
Kind of thing.
そしてですね、このエウクラシアというアクションを使うと技がね一気に変わったりします。今単純な、攻撃魔法でしたよね。これがアクション使うとモードが変わって、ドット付与の技に変わったりします。
So the one which we were talking about where an attack turns into something that can place a dot, that would be the Euphrasia. So once you cast that, an attack changes into something that would allow for damage over time.
I mean, Sage definitely looks like a fun job. Kind of sad what's happened to Scholars though. Seems like they've kind of been left behind, so to speak.
You see?
But it wouldn't surprise me if we get a big rework of Scholar in the future.
Augmented and changed.
いや、使いこなしてもらえれば面白さは保証するんですけど。
I think it might take a bit to master, but once you do get the hang of it, it is quite fun.
ヒーラーをそうで説明するのは難しいです。
非常に難しいです。
Yeah, it looks tough to explain healers.
私。
I mean, so when you are solo.
Very true.
コメントはですね、全然あれなんですよね。SE とガンダムの話しかしないですよ、みんな。
For some reason.
Comments are filled with, oh, the sound effect, or it's like Gundam.
Yeah, about half the comments currently in that stream is either about Gundams and the other half is about the Rep Scholars.
タイプのヒーラーとしてなんだろう、極めがいがあるというか、形になってますんで、ぜひですね、我こそはと思う方はですね、今回、まあ賢者とそれからメレンディ TS にリーパーが追加されるので、どっちも結構また新しいメカニクスを持った特徴的な処分になっているので、ぜひ、遊んでみてください。
はい。
はい。
ありがとうございます。あ、ごめんなさい。
In any case, the Sage is definitely a technical barrier healer, and I think there is a it's worth sort of mastering the skill set that the Sage brings to you. And then of course we have the Reaper joining the melee DPS, both having very unique mechanics and very characteristic, and very unique. So we hope that people will enjoy this and try it out when it comes out.
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. そうします第1部、ジョブ関連
So I wonder if we're gonna get anything else because they're done with the jobs now, aren't they?
So this concludes the first part of today's letter live, the job adjustments.
Yes.
いやいやいやいや、ここまでで第1部ですよ。
第1部です。
We're just barely done with the first part.
あと2部あんで。
あと2部あります。
So we have 2 more parts after this.
大丈夫、大丈夫です。
はい。
では第2部に行く前に、ここで一旦休憩にしましょう。改めて休憩を挟みたいと思います。で、ここまでいろいろご説明しましたので、
If this was only the first part, I might not stream the remaining parts and do a video about them instead. See.
なので自動的に、休憩は20分休憩です。はい。なので今まで今の情報を改めて頭の中で整理しながら、改めて序アクションとか見ていただければと思います。はい。So before going to the second part, pattern adjustments, we want to take some break. And then for this break, we will replay the job action video again. So with the explanation for each job in mind, please check the job action video. So the length of the break this time will be the 20 minutes. はい、ではよろしいでしょうか。それでは改めてビデオを見ましょう。So let's check the video.
どうぞ。
Yeah, so thanks for anyone who came by and watched. I'm gonna end the stream here. Sadly, it's way too late for me to watch the remaining parts, so I might make a video about them in the future. Thanks anyone who came by to watch, and if you're watching this in the future, thanks a lot, and please like and subscribe to the video. And I will see you guys later.